This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
This episode of the History of Bad Ideas is sponsored by the Cincinnati Comic Expo. If you missed the Cincinnati Comic Expo in 2016, it will be returning to the Duke Energy Center in Cincinnati, Ohio in 2017, September 22nd through the 24th. Want to know what you missed out on? Go to the Cincinnati Comic Expo Facebook page, and they have all their panels with Stan Lee, John Barrowman, and many, many others. Also want to know what else you're missing out on? Check out History of Bad Ideas podcast number 143, as we have sit-down interviews with several of the guests at the Cincinnati Comic Expo. Again, September 22nd through the 24th of 2017. Get your tickets at the beginning of the year.
It's about comic books and movies, growing up with Rokusuki. Superman before Zack Snyder ruined him. Michael Keaton was the best Batman, while Christian Bale was just deadpan. No one remembers the other ones. Princess Leia in bikinis and Transformer Lamborghinis. Please don't let Shia LaBeouf ever act again.
Please, God, no.
Remembering tales from the crypt, back when Michael Bay wrote good scripts.
He wrote
and all right here is no mystery, 'cause it's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas. It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas.
Podcast.
Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
Blake.
This is episode 153.
Number episode?
Number episode. I can count. Thanks everybody for joining us. Hope you are enjoying the holiday season. St. Nick just occurred for those German Catholics in, eastern part of the country.
Or also Krampus.
Krampus. Did any children get eaten that you know of?
Not that I know of, but
Okay.
if I had any, they would have.
Okay.
I would have evil children.
Krampus comes on Christmas Eve, or on New Year's, St. Nick's Eve.
Yeah.
It is? Oh, okay.
I didn't even know Krampus was still making music.
Dun-dun-dun.
I'm trying to
Where's
figure out.
the-
I'm
where's
trying
the
to
get
figure out
back?
which band you're actually thinking. Are you thinking Crocus or
Uh-huh.
Corn?
Uh-huh. Take on me.
Take me on.
See, it gives you other ideas now with Krampus. Did you ever celebrate St. Nick in your house?
No.
Like, you didn't? Are you German?
No.
Oh, okay. Jeff, did you?
Nope.
And you're German?
Yep.
Huh. Well, we celebrated it. We kind of got away from, 1,000 toys on St. Nick because my mom would go overboard. I know you're shocked by that at
Yeah.
Christmas time with my parents. But yeah, so my kids did get a movie. My oldest son got Pete's Dragon, the new one.
Yeah.
He loved it, and even my wife said it was a really good film. And then my daughter got Finding Dory.
Okay.
We tried to watch that today because she was sick. And just like in the movie theater, she got through about 15 minutes of it. But she's been asking for it every time it comes on TV.
Well, she only wants to see that one scene on the TV.
I guess.
Over and over and over again.
Hey, what is this cult holiday you're celebrating?
Have you ever heard of it?
What's this, day after Black Friday or something?
No. It's December 5th.
There's Thanksgiving,
You put your
Black Friday, you Krampus, and then St. Nick.
Well, I don't know about Krampus. St. Nick, you leave your stockings out, and...
Is that Christmas?
Well, you would think, but then you also leave shoes out, which I've never heard of until my wife told me about this.
Well, I think that's where it came from. Then shoes became socks, which became those
Stockings.
stupid fake stockings that you can't put your feet in, yet they're still called stockings.
I'm very adamant about that one, Jeff.
I'm very adamant about everything that's stupid. And there's a lot of stupid traditions in Christmas.
Again, I really am glad I'm the positive one of this team. I think we're really going in the right direction if I'm the positive one.
I hate getting gifts. Such a bummer.
How dare I?
How dare I accept these gifts?
But you get candy and you get like a little toy here and there.
Yeah.
Some people go overboard, but we try to keep it simple. With
Okay.
I think I got some-
apparently St. Nick didn't like us. Apparently Krampus didn't come get us, so I suppose we were all right.
You were in the middle. You were in purgatory.
Yeah. But
Did you get glue wine?
no. Not as a child? No.
Or now.
No.
If Jeff wants something, he's just going to go out and buy it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in my stocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, well, I guess I was the only one that had St. Nick. Never mind.
No. Well, growing up, it was like everybody, all the kids at school, like the day, or St. Nick Day, because usually it was a school day.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look what we got, look what we got. I'm like, what the hell? So we go home and ask our parents, they're like, you get gifts on Christmas. Why the hell do you get, why do you think you should get more?
And to be honest, I really don't know why St. Nick, is what it is. Because St. Nick, isn't that Santa? I would think that's the same thing. So why is he doing an early thing? Is it a test run for his Christmas Eve? That's the only thing I can think of. So that was happened last night.
It was kind of like
I thought if you get St. Nick, you shouldn't get Christmas.
It's kind of like the whole Holy Trilogy thing. They're really three people all wrapped up in one.
It's just
but
one.
There's three entities. It just fucks everything up.
So where does Rudolph fly?
No.
Fuck Rudolph.
Venison.
But, dear meat.
Yes.
We are on nerdly.co.uk.
Hello, governor.
Hey, cheeky mates.
I was going to say cheeky. You stole mine.
Here's our 5-word vocabulary
Let me
for
see
British.
the
Hello, Governor.
Jolly good.
Oh.
Wanker.
Brilliant.
Check them out. They have great reviews and us on their website. And we're on weebiegeekspc.com. They have tons of Disney news coming up. And also they have great podcasts as well, including us. And we're on Tangent Bound Network, Danger Entertainment.
Danger Entertainment.
We're on we're on Geek Life Radio, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, every Friday. So.
And when Jeff checks the email once every 6 months, where do you send that to?
HOBIPod@gmail.com.
Yes.
And you can get us on Stitcher and iTunes. And leave us nice reviews, please. Facebook, at the History of Bad Ideas.
What about
And Twitter. Bad Ideas Podcast on Twitter.
Do we have an Instagram account?
God, no. Does anyone want to see pictures of us?
Good point. We have a Tumblr account, and we're not quite sure how that's going.
The Tumblr account's great. There's lots of porn on it. Not from us, but there's just lots of porn on Tumblr. According to Neil.
Well, that's what you use Tumblr for.
Yes. And then I don't think anyone wants pictures of you, Blake, in your Russian mafia outfit that you have going on again
Yeah,
today.
this is my Russian mafia tracksuit.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, how's Vlad?
Oh, it was great.
Oh, good. Vlad's doing good. How's his family?
Da, Bolska, da.
You damn Bolsheviks. Let's see. Any up-downs? Let's do up-down. One thing we're up on this week, one thing we're down on this week.
Lots of stuff.
Oh. Well, it's only supposed to be one.
Yeah, but I Hobie it.
Rah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Blake. You go first.
Jeff first.
Oh, Jeff's first.
Oh, we doing ups or downs?
Whatever. It's your choice.
I'll go ups.
Just like drugs? Uppers or downers? What are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Do I need speed or do I need some alcohol? That's
Both.
just balance it out.
Well, if
Red Bull and vodka just balances it out.
If Elizabeth Berkley taught me anything, you always go with the caffeine pills. So that always
They
helps.
make you excited.
But there's never enough time for all of the things you want.
All right. Well, this week I'm up on. It's Friday, I think it was. Tony from Salty Language put out on Facebook that, hey, anybody interested? Ticket to Ride and Dominion are free on the
Kindle.
Kindle, yeah. And I'm like, oh, thanks. So I went, checked them out, downloaded them, and I've probably played over 200 games of Ticket to Ride since Friday night.
Ooh, do you play against other people or is it computer?
Yeah, I was just playing against a computer. You can play against other people.
Well, that's so
I
fun.
haven't even done that yet.
How long do the games take?
Oh, they take 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, really? That's it? Oh, that's nice.
I mean, the computers all move real fast, so when you're doing your turn.
Yeah. Because you played Ticket to Ride.
The board game.
Yeah, at our house, my house a couple weeks ago. Which one was that?
The Asia.
Asia. That's right. The Himalayan mountains. So I don't think Blake likes the Ticket to Ride games as much.
No, not when you guys play that strip Ticket to Ride version. I'm not into that.
Only way to play.
Jeff, what's the first thing you lose?
My
Pants.
pants.
There you go. Nobody plays after that. Blake, where are you up on?
I'm up on Serial Podcast.
Okay.
It's a not an amateur podcast. Sorry. It's a professional one. It comes from This American Life.
What
I'm
season?
listening
What season?
Season 2.
Did you do season 1?
No. I'm just doing season 2 because it was referred to me by a friend, and it's actually the They got 11 episodes about the whole Bowie Bergdahl
Yep.
situation in Afghanistan.
I've gotten through half that season so far.
Oh, you have? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I know what my opinion is, especially. Let's just say the man had bad decision-making skills. Fairly bad decision-making skills.
Can we put that as a bad idea of the week?
Yeah.
Write it down.
But it does a really good job. I had actually followed that from the very beginning in the news over, the 4.5-5 years that it took, and then with the whole, Barry Soetoro, White House briefing, and then the Secretary NSA Rice talking about him the next day, and I just went ballistic and it's kind of interesting to see, listening to the Serial podcast, how a bunch of other veterans and everybody else perceive that whole thing, where it wasn't very political on day one when they had the news conference in the Rose Garden.
Yes.
But I remember watching that live, and I remember sitting there thinking, they're treating this guy like a hero. And that's bullshit. And then the next day, when Rice said, he served with honor and distinction, that's when I got really pissed off, because he didn't. Should he stand trial? Yes, he should. Now, should he go to jail for it? I could see them doing one of these things where, he already spent 5 years in captivity. You can use that as, his jail time. If it comes to that.
Is there a worse hell than when he spent 5 years in the Middle East?
Exactly.
Held by the terrorist group.
That's true.
For those that don't know, he was a soldier. He walked away from his...
he deserted his post.
Yes. His idea was he wanted to do it to draw attention to the bad living conditions and the bad conditions, basically, that the troops were having over there, the situation in the Middle East. Unfortunately, he probably didn't go about it the correct way of doing it, like Chip Blake said.
Anybody that's in the military knows the formal grievances process, and that guy just did none of that whatsoever.
And he got picked up by ISIS 2 days after he left the camp, I think, or the day after.
Taliban, in the next 24.
And they held him for 5 years.
Yeah, he paid his price. There's no doubt about that.
Now the trial has not started yet, correct?
That is correct. It's been continually delayed and pushed back, and the last that I knew in the update, he was actually searching for a pardon.
Do you think that it will ever go to trial, or do you think there's going to be a plea?
I really don't know. I'll wait and see. I really hate for that stuff to be political, which it shouldn't be, but
it is.
They did.
Yeah.
Obama made it political first, and then Supreme Ruler Trump made it political during his campaign. And it really should not be political. That's the whole thing. I don't care what your opinion is of the whole thing, that whole thing should never have been pawns in the political process.
And I'm not trying to get too deep into it.
We shouldn't, because I want to piss like Nazi socialists off, like Dev, or something.
No. Do you think...
I'm joking, Dev.
Do you think... and I'm not giving him excuses, because I hate when people use this excuse, but do you think he was just kind of young and naive and didn't know what he was thinking about it, but I think he was 22.
I believe, and this is my personal opinion, I believe he was young and naive, and he put his own beliefs and thoughts forefront of everything else, kind of like Snowden did, and what's his name, the other guy that's arrested for releasing secrets to WikiLeaks. I can't remember that guy's name.
Jared from Subway?
Or her name, whatever he or she goes, Z goes by now. When you're thinking that what you're doing is more important than, the big picture.
The common good.
The common good. I don't agree with the way Snowden went about his business either. I understand his motives, but I don't condone them. I mean, there's ways...
Well, he's got
There's ways to address it. Yeah, but Putin doesn't own him. He's his own man. Yeah, whatever, buddy. You can't go anywhere.
I don't want to get too political on this, but the ways to address them, when the person you go to is the person you're telling on, that's not ways to address.
That's not correct, Jeff.
Oh God, soapbox. HOBI Soapbox, Canadian Podcast Network, down the hall. Well, with Serial, it's very well done. I will say that it is.
It is basically what good news reporting is. Reporting of the facts, the who, what, when, where, why, and how. The giving of both sides, and it's not op-eded or editorialized.
They even had good interviews with a Taliban person from the Taliban. I thought when she interviewed him.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't condone what they do, but it's interesting to see that aspect of it because you don't see that side of it ever. And obviously, why? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're never. I don't feel like it's ever going to go to trial. I feel like there's going to be a plea deal. I feel like there will be.
They go into a lot of good background reporting on why they released the 5 guys that they did. And in all honesty, what the administration did was completely counter to everything we've ever done in the past. You know, is it the end result, you know, better than the means, or the means, you know, better than the ends? You know, ultimately, we do what we're supposed to do, and that's get your guy back home, regardless if he did the wrong thing or not. We don't leave our fellow citizens behind.
You have a very serious this week.
Yeah, really. How this turn political again?
Well, let me lighten the mood.
Yes, please lighten the mood. I'm depressed.
I'll do a up this week. I bashed on Disney Infinity for a while.
Yes,
because I have no idea what the hell it is. And it was kind of lackluster. Well, now that they're closing up shop Disney and they shut down Disney Infinity, all the Disney Infinity characters are cheap as shit. Toys R Us had buy one, get 3 free.
Wow.
At one point, so I loaded up.
What's Disney Infinity?
Basically, it's these little figures that you buy, and you put them on this little platform. You can have a couple of them at a time. Okay. And my son really likes it. And it's a video game for the PlayStation, Xbox, and the Wii U. We have it for the Wii U. You go in, it's kind of somewhat Minecrafty, like you can build these different buildings, like Disney-themed, Star Wars, Marvel.
Okay.
My son doesn't really do that part of it. We actually go in and do the missions. There's different missions based on the characters you have. You can have Stitch interacting with Luke Skywalker, but then you have Star Wars levels that you have just Star Wars characters fighting through these battles and that.
Okay.
It's really fun when you do the battle areas and that. Well, a couple months ago, about a year ago, they came out with Marvel's Battleground. And basically, it's an add-on to the game where you can take your Infinity characters, and the Infinity characters were not cheap. They're about $15. How Disney stopped making this series is beyond my ideas. I don't know how they did it. Because they got to be making money off these fucking figures, right?
Yeah, you think, $15 a shot?
Yeah. So, you get these characters, and you can play up to 4 of them. And we got the Battlegrounds usually $30, $35 or so. Because of them closing up shop this Christmas, $9. And then I got 4 figures for the price of 1. And then I went into the stores on Black Friday, the weekend after. All the Infinity characters are $4. So I just start loading up on them because they're not going to be making these anymore. So we got 12 Marvel characters, my son and I. And we got Battleground, and we put it in, and it is awesome. It's Street Fighter, but you can have 4 characters play at one time. My son and I face each other, and the computer's in there, so all 4 of us fight each other. If you get 4 controllers, you can have 4 guys. You can have 4 real people play, too. And the best part is, it only is the Marvel characters you can use against them. The levels are fun. It's just a fun beat-them-up game, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. And the best part is Disney Infinity gives you, like, we have 12 characters. There's a total of 28 Marvel Infinity characters.
Okay.
They give you each week, I think it's each week, they give you 2 free ones to test out that you don't have. To anticipation. So this week we had Iron Man and Vision. So I thought, that's kind of fun. Then you get tokens for every time you play a Battleground game. Like a level, you face each other. And those tokens, it only costs 1 token. You can buy another guy that you don't even have. So I bought the black Spider-Man, the black costume Spider-Man, not the African-American Spider-Man, the black costume Spider-Man for 1 token. And we still have 17 tokens left. And you can play them, for in the ring for a time. So I can't say they're gouging you because they're giving you a lot of free stuff with it.
Yeah.
And so I do like that. But it is a fun game. As bad as Disney Infinity, I wouldn't say bad, as disappointing as it was, Battleground makes up for it in more ways than one. So, bravo, Disney. Bravo. And I like that they give you free ones each week. That's rare. So, my favorite, I will say Venom is the most pointless character in that game.
Venom's one of the most pointless characters in the Marvel universe.
He's not a good character to fight with. He throws webbing, and that's it. And it's just not even good, like, the way to...
He just looks really cool.
Yeah, and my son really liked the Infinity character of him, so I got Venom.
Yeah.
Again, 4 for $15, I'll take it. But he's kind of weak. But I did get Groot. And the best part is, when you go to punch somebody, one of his things is that he comes up wherever the other characters are at in the level, he comes up through the ground with a fist made of tree. So that was kind of fun, because he's a tree.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they each have a superpower, a big finishing move. It doesn't necessarily kill you, but it takes you down a lot. And it's pretty easy to do. My son's 6 and was able to do most of them. So, little Bruce Wayne likes that game. So that's a good sign. But my down this week... the Flash TV series. Was one of my favorite ones for 2 seasons. Still good, but it's kind of disappointing.
I just finished watching the crossover earlier today.
Yeah.
And it was all right.
I missed the crossover because we had issues with our cable, as usual. Well, now they came out and they said, you should not be having these cable boxes. These are bad ones. Why did you give them to us last time? We don't know. Here's the brand new ones, and they actually are really nice, the new ones.
Okay.
But it wiped out our DVR, so I missed the crossover episodes.
You can get them on the CW
I'll get them
app.
on the app, yeah. But it just sucked because I was homesick with the kid today. I was like, I could have caught up. Damn it. But I'm kind of down on Flash. Not that great.
I agree. But
He hasn't vibrated through any doors recently?
No, but he did vibrate through mirrors. The Mirror Master. I liked him.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, the Mirror Master was fun.
Yeah, I was a little behind, and I was asking the guy at work, I'm like, to watch the crossover, do I need to know what's going on in the previous episodes? He's like, not really. So I'm like, all right, I'll just watch the crossover.
Good writing there.
And I will say, Flash's episode was probably the best episodes in the crossover. Mm-hmm. Arrow's was pointless.
That's what I heard. It was a dream.
Not exactly a dream, but they're in some dream world type thing and blah blah blah. But it felt like in the comic books when they put out a big crossover, and then there's a side book that really has nothing to do with it. An issue over here that says, "Oh yeah, we're also experiencing this big."
So
thing.
every Marvel crossover,
pretty much.
Okay.
Where it's like, oh yeah, Iron Man and Captain America, they're fighting, and don't forget me, I'm over here watching you fight. And then that comes back and affects the story very slightly. So are you going to continue to watch Flash, even though you're down on it right now?
Yeah, I'm still going to watch. I like the characters enough. I hate that there's an over or a whole season enemy in it every time. I really don't need that. I feel like, I'm hoping... The rumor is that Gorilla Grodd comes in and takes over the city with his mutant apes. I'm intrigued to see that. That I don't need a whole season for. I need 6 episodes. I'm good with that.
Didn't we see that in Planet of the Apes?
We did. This guy can...
They said it's just happening now?
Well, yeah, because this guy has...
He's the Cornelius?
Did you see what happened? It's going to be only a matter of 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. It doesn't even matter until we're taken over by apes.
Damn dirty apes!
We did it to ourselves!
That's right.
Jeff, or Blake, what are you? What are you down on?
Growing old.
Okay.
I had a birthday this past week.
You did?
It's your birthday.
Yeah. But you know what? It really wasn't, even though it's a down, it's kind of like a neutral.
Was it on Facebook?
I don't put my birth dates on Facebook.
Damn it.
How do we know when it's your birthday?
When I feel like telling you.
You know what, though? We can actually sing Happy Birthday, and it's
No.
not copyrighted.
No, don't.
Yeah, it's not copyrighted anymore. You're right.
Happy
No,
birthday.
stop. Now it's really going to be a down, okay?
To you.
I was going to say it's
Happy
neutral because I actually had it up to
birthday
share in
to
regards to one of my
you.
birthday gifts.
Fine, I can do it a better way.
Happy
birthday, Russian Mafia.
You got to be more raspy if we're trying to Maryland.
Happy birthday. If that doesn't win me a flop, y'all know what
I
does.
think that was Marilyn Monroe eating Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog here.
That's Jason's Marilyn Monroe impersonation.
You should have told anyone. You should have seen if the listeners knew who that was.
Oh,
They wouldn't have guessed it.
Well, I was going to say, it actually
you got a good gift,
turned
huh?
into, actually, I got a ticket to, and I met Lowell Tolhurst, drummer, keyboardist for The Cure.
Ah.
Yeah, so that was actually pretty good. He was
Where's
here
that at?
in Cincinnati
Oh,
at
okay.
Joseph Beth
Oh, nice.
Books. He's selling a book about his experiences of being a teenager and then being in The Cure and being a grown adult. Post-Cure.
I got
Not being in The Cure anymore. Yeah,
I got this
exactly.
VIP. I get to meet you. I'm not buying your book.
Exactly.
That's just a little ridiculous.
Oh, no,
but
we
I
bought
will
the book.
meet you.
Oh, we bought the book. Oh, we got the signatures. We bought a couple other books for friends that we know that are big Cure fans. And my wife's, a really huge Cure fan too. And, I had to go back and finish doing work. And she's like, well, do you mind if I go ahead and I stay here and I get like another book and get it signed for another friend of mine? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And then she's like, oh, before she was like, oh, we got to ask him, where he's hanging out afterwards or go have a drink with him. Let's be groupies tonight. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I got shit to do. I got to go back, blah, blah, blah. She's like, all right, well, I'll stay here. I'll get another book signed, for our other friend. I'm like, yeah, do that. And I went home and then I said, I just left my wife behind, drooling over a aged rock star who wants to know where he's going after the whole presentation. I wonder if I should be concerned about this.
And yet you don't get a top 5 list. You don't have a top 5.
I think Lowell Tolhurst would probably be in her top 5 if it was possible.
Might be her top
to
1.
change it every day to who she might actually meet.
Well, by the time she went through the line again, we probably actually had like 5 books signed for us and people we know. So after seeing, her probably 3 times going through the line, she did actually get to talk to him for like an extra 15 minutes. I mean, I got to meet him, shake his hand. We got our picture together, and I was just like, it's so nice to meet you, Lowell. I got all your music, man. So to tell you, what's Robert like? What's Robert Smith? No, I'm kidding. I was actually pretty cool, and I was like, hey, thank you very much.
That's what he says he is.
Yeah,
He got there and went,
hey. Yeah, that's right. It's like, hey. It was like, I'm such a big fan of you. Can you do my wife, please? She's a fan too.
Did your wife
It'd be great if you could. That'd be awesome. We both love it.
Did your wife get home and go,
I'm kidding.
Blake, I was rethinking about that whole top 5 list you have. Go ahead and have one if you want.
I'm thinking, yeah, you can. No,
yeah, go ahead.
wait.
Why? No reason. No reason.
No, it's pretty. No, it's actually pretty cool. So, I did talk to him and say, hey, big fan of your music, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for coming to Cincinnati and everything. And he's like, yeah, pretty cool. And then, they're in those lines and they're trying to get you through. And we were one of the first people because we had the VIP, stuff.
VIP,
baby.
HOBI pays.
That's right, HOBI. And so, he wants to sign the books and everybody's waiting behind us in line. So you got to keep moving on. But, when she went and got a couple more books, we thought, yeah, so-and-so should have a book, blah, 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 blah. And so she actually got to talk to him for 15 minutes because at that point, almost nobody was there. And she asked, there are 2 posters, a big long one and a smaller one. She's like, well, what are we doing about these posters? Can I have one? And he's like, yeah, why don't you have And she said she had to fight 2 gay guys trying to get the big poster, but they got the big poster. She got the small poster, and he's like, here, let me sign this for you, too. And she's like, oh, thanks. Me and my husband...
Me and my ex-husband, we really love you.
Yeah, we really love you. Yeah.
Me and my husband, wait, give that back.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
We're married, but that doesn't mean anything. He's got a top 5 list. I got top 1. Hello.
Yeah, kiss me.
I get to do that there.
Yeah, but no, so that was really cool. So she got that and she brought that home. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome, sweet. So I'll probably have to frame it for Christmas and put it up. It was actually really cool. He's actually a pretty straight, all-together guy. I mean, I had heard him on, I think, All Things Considered or something when he first released the book about a year ago, I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about it, and it was kind of interesting because he was saying some of the same things that I had heard in the interview a while back. And then he read an excerpt, and then he did the Q&A, and as usual, some people ask these really stupid fucking questions, and you sit there and you're going on a book tour, and you're in possibly one of the most influential, punk, goth, pop, alternative music bands ever, And you probably hear that, you hear the same questions over and over again, and I'm sure he's answered. But he was actually a pretty level-headed dude, and he's like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I take some questions. All right, that's good. I wanted to ask some questions for him. Be like, you know the guy that wrote The Crow? He wrote that, listen to your music. Wasn't that neat?
You Chris Farley?
Yeah, you're like, wasn't that great?
Did you stand up and go?
But I didn't ask any questions. I just kept my hand down. I stayed in the back and I just listened and just smiled at him the whole time. And he was either eyeballing me or eyeballing my wife. I don't know.
See that creepy guy? Yeah. Get rid of him. I don't know what he's doing, but keep his wife. I like the girl next to him. The woman next to him.
That's right.
Did you raise your hand, Blake?
I was wondering why I was being escorted out there real quick. What's going
on? This is Blake from HOBI. We got a couple questions for you.
I almost would have said, hey, I do an amateur podcast. Can I get your Skype?
Professional.
Yeah. Professional amateur?
Yeah, we're professional amateurs.
Professional amateur podcast. Can I interview you? Can I get... Do you have a Skype? You have a Skype, sir? Sir, I'd like to talk to you.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Your down was more of an up, and your up was more of a down.
Yeah, I know. It's opposite day.
You mean the upside down world?
Yeah, I know. It's upside down world.
Jeff, what's your, what are we on?
Well, you know what? Can we talk about this real quick? 2012 was on with John Cusack.
Well,
in the green room.
That was going to be my down.
That was going to be your down?
One of my downs. I'm like...
Before you talk about the downs, don't you think it's about time for John Cusack to do a sequel 30 years later for Better Off Dead?
They're going to say Gross Point Blank.
No.
I will say no. I don't think Better Off Dead could use a sequel.
I think it could. I liked Better Off Dead. It was one of his best movies.
I don't want to see what happened to Lane Meyer 30 years later.
Lane Meyer. I think it'd be kind of cool. Why not? I'm sure he could use the cash.
He did 2012 for the cash.
Yeah, no, I thought he did Room 13 for the cash or whatever.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck showed us you do one independent film, then one blockbuster. One independent, one blockbuster.
Right. That's pretty much what Cusack's been doing his career.
Well, no,
he says he does one for them and one for me.
Yeah. Okay.
So 2012, it's on in the green room. It's a great film.
It's on your down list.
It's a terrible list. I'm sitting here watching how terrible this is, and like unspeakably bad.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, it's got to be part of my downs because
he got past an earthquake driving a limo.
Yeah, and then like when the ground was falling out from behind him, he like jumped a chasm in a RV.
Yes,
and then fell down the chasm when the RV went down, but he climbed back up into the plane.
I feel like that's possible.
Yeah, I don't even care if it's possible. It's terrible movies.
If that much smoke and fire was engulfing your plane, around your plane, little Cessna plane, you're not going to survive that. I don't think you're going to fly out of that.
Yeah, and you got to land someplace, and if the whole Earth is falling apart, okay.
Sounds like a Cure song.
Yeah.
If the whole Earth is falling apart.
You think they're up there in the same realm for goth punk as Was Not Was, Walk the Dinosaur? Do you think? Do you think they're still up there?
You're trying to be funny, right?
No, I'm just being serious. I don't know music.
Obviously.
Is Bon Jovi punk? I'm kind of lost. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Walk the Dinosaur, huge goth. Huge goth.
Everybody walk the dinosaur. It's already dead. Walk the dinosaur.
I think that's how the
Get on the floor. Get on the floor. I hear the bodies hitting the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies...
That's definitely not Don Was.
Well, people have been asking for more songs from me, so I'm trying. I feel like I just remade Drowning Pool into Was Not Was. I feel like I could do that.
I don't think you can.
Oh, sorry. So what's your other down, besides me singing?
My other down is Fox Sports.
Oh, okay.
Well, to begin with, it's terrible that they even
hired Skip Bayless.
About hiring Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd.
Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp is all right compared to Bayless and Cowherd.
I like Colin Cowherd.
I think he's a piece of shit.
Why?
Allegedly.
Because he's such like a homer and everything.
Homer for who?
For like L.A. or whatnot. Like everything else, every place else sucks and is terrible and doesn't even deserve to be talked about.
That's
I'm
not
like,
true.
That's your job. Well, that's what he did when he was at ESPN.
No, I think he's like a thinking man's.
Oh no, he's an ass.
Sports. Yeah, but he makes.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
Here's
He's allowed to be an ass.
Here's what you got to do for radio and stuff like that. You pick a stance and you stick with it. And he actually does a good job of that. And actually,
well, I never listened to it on the radio.
And actually presents
I saw his
his
television shit. And he's crappy.
He presents his arguments in a logical, factual manner.
Well,
I like it.
Maybe on radio you've got time to do that, but when you're doing, 30-second clips on television and you just sit there and be an ass for a half hour.
Are you talking about Hurd
seconds.
or are you talking about Bayless?
Both, actually, but
Because you got to differentiate.
Coward did the same
here.
thing on a different show. It was the same shtick. He just did it on a different show.
On ESPN.
Yeah.
Now he's on Fox Sports.
Now he's on Fox Sports.
It's still him and his show.
But
Bayless is doing another argument thing with
the Shannon
other
Sharp
dude.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now Shannon Sharp. Instead of Stephen A.
Indisputable.
Smith. Instead of Stephen A. Smith, it's Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp's a little better than Stephen A. Smith.
I know that ESPN is trying to get away from the high-priced guys. I think they're realizing
they can't afford it.
They can't afford it because they're losing viewership, but also because I think they're realizing that this, trash tabloid thing is driving away their core base. I don't watch ESPN.
I think it is. I think ESPN's gotten trashy, tabloidy, and political. And I'm like, dude, I'm here to listen to sports. If I want to listen to politics,
Can I get a
I'll switch the radio dial.
Now Fox is going after that same shit that everyone hated ESPN for.
So ESPN hopefully goes back to the other way. Can I just get a not-so top 10 once in a while? That's all I want.
I just want a little humorous little tidbit in between you telling me the scores.
Where's Stuart Scott? Oh.
Where's Jim Rome?
No, God.
Chris Everett? Call me Chris again!
Chrissy, yeah.
Jim Rome popped up on...
Well, he's doing a TV show now.
I can't remember if was it Fox?
I think it's CBS.
He was CBS.
CBS.
He was CBS.
Okay.
CBS Sports.
He popped up in one of the football pregame shows or whatnot this week.
Yeah.
I'm Jim Rome. I'm still here.
Have a take, don't suck.
But anyway, still speaking of Fox Sports that I'm still down on, pisses me off that every time Fox shows a game from Cincinnati, they have fucking Tom Brenneman doing the game.
I don't mind Tom
Brenneman is a terrible piece of shit.
Jeez,
Man.
I like Tom.
And 3 weeks ago, they did the Bengal game when they played Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And he was terrible then. Yeah. And they were so confused that, oh my God, it's almost halftime. Why aren't the Bengals using their timeouts? What are they doing out there? I'm like, they never do that. They never run a 2-minute offense before half. It's been years. Tom Brenneman's from the town. He's doing the game. Well, 2 weeks later, he gets the Bengal game again. Same thing. Why aren't they taking their timeouts? I'm like, oh my God, you're a fucking moron. Get off my television. I'm going to turn on Dave Lapham and listen to it on the radio.
Jeff, you have a lot of hate this week.
I do have hate because they make me hate.
Just to let you guys know, episode 154.
I'm not a hateful person. They make me hate.
Episode 154, Tom Brenneman's coming on as a guest, so that should be a fun time. Oh, I'm sorry, I just got a text. No, he is not. Thank you. Glad we're not going live, but he patched in.
Yeah.
So, it's great. Thanks, Jeff. You ruined that one. On the better part, we got Skip Bayless next week.
Oh, right.
So, that is indisputable.
And Fox apparently pays Tom Brenneman by the word, or at least he thinks they do, because the man never shuts up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's a game going on in the field. Yeah, but I'm talking about a tangent. But the game, they just changed play. Yeah, but I'm going to talk about this for another half hour.
Okay, that was your up-down segment of the week. Something less disputed. Let's get to our Twitter poll of the week. Yay!
Hooray.
That is on our at Bad Ideas podcast on Twitter. We do a poll each week. What do you think of Westworld? Season 1 was the poll of this week.
Yeah.
We have 4.
Overall feeling about Westworld, Season 1.
With last place with 1% of the vote. Average at best.
1%.
Yes. 1%. This was actually one of our bigger polls most responded to, so we appreciate that, everybody. Third place was 6%. Awful.
Okay.
They just hated it.
All right.
23% for second place was good, but had some flaws.
Okay.
And seriously, this shocked me. It was a good show, don't get me wrong, but
My math says 70%.
70% had awesome.
Awesome.
So we had a lot of people vote on this one, so it was overall, it's a pretty good number.
When that episode was done, I just sat there and went,
That was a fun season finale.
wow.
Of course, I did pause it at one point. I'm like, I still got another fucking hour? Jesus.
Yeah, it was an hour and a half.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. It wasn't dragging or anything, but after a while, I'm like, oh my God, I got another hour of this?
I was watching it, and I thought like it was coming to a conclusion in this storyline. And I'm like, oh, so there's probably going to be, 10 minutes left? 45 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got home after it started, but it was already DVRing. And I drove as fast as I could. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start. And I got to do the thing where, I hope when I turn the DirecTV on in the DVR, I hope it doesn't automatic. Sometimes when you're DVRing, it'll go straight to what you're recording.
Yeah.
And it was. I was like, I don't want to see it. Stop.
You threw bleach in your eyes.
I'm trying to hit the buttons fast enough, and it's not changing. And I was watching, the blonde hair snake lady run.
Oh, yeah.
Through the albino chick with the snake tattoo run through the thing. I'm like, I don't want to watch.
So the spoilers for the next 5 minutes here on Westworld.
5 minutes. Like we're only going to talk about
10
it for
minutes.
5 minutes.
15.
30.
The rest of the show. No, I'm just kidding. Westworld season finale. Let's get into it. Maeve busts out, and she's in the lab. Let's start with Maeve first.
Oh, God, there's so much to talk about. All right, you want to talk Maeve first?
Yes, Maeve is with Hector and the Snake Woman, whose name starts with an A. It's a really long name, so we're just going Snake Woman.
Snake Woman.
And
Felix.
And Felix, the Butcher, who's the only human of the four.
Yeah.
First off, they all die, they all wake up, and basically they start running, they are trying to get out. Maeve is trying to get out of the facility.
Find out it was smart to burn her flesh in the dying, because that meant they could replace her vertebrae.
Oh, yes.
Remember, there's that exploding C7. Mm-hmm. So, yes, that's why they showed the skeleton and the spine and the Domino's pizza guy replacing the
other butcher.
Yeah, the other butcher. Yes.
So, did he ever die, the Domino's pizza guy, the butcher? I don't think he did. He was just scared to death, and he just stood against the glass wall.
Yeah, they told him to stay there, and they didn't kill him.
Stay there, and she didn't kill him.
So she got an army to help her out,
But
a band.
Here's the problem. Yeah, she goes and finds Charlotte,
Yes.
right?
The
Charlotte?
board member. No.
No, wait, who's Charlotte?
The whore.
No, Clementine.
Clementine.
Charlotte is the board member.
Charlotte's the board member. I'm sorry. Clementine. Goes find Clementine. They find Arnold Bernard. And this is where the butcher technology gets really cool. They heal Bernard. And right away, she knows him as another host. Mm-hmm. And of course, Arnold Bernard's like, okay. And in that transaction there, Bernard says, well, you think you're doing all this stuff
for
on
free
your
will.
own, free will.
But
He goes,
it's programmed in.
you're programmed in to do this. She's like, no, I'm making my own decisions and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, let me show you. And she's like, fuck that. Breaks it, gets upset. So she's been programmed. Somebody's programmed her to do that.
Can we say who it was? Ford. That's what I thought it was implied at the end, too, that this was all part of Ford's game.
All part of Ford's big game to let one of the hosts get out.
Because the final goal of her mission was to implement herself into humankind, into the world. Did you see that part at the very end of the laptop or the tablet that they're holding? It had all the list of what she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And the last one was implement into humankind.
Okay.
Mankind, I think it was called.
So, of course, the overall theme is artificial intelligence, and you get a lot of the backstory with Arnold Bernard with Dolores. But what's important is she was programmed to do all that.
Maeve was.
Yeah, Maeve was. Well, we can talk about that other stuff later. She gets on the shuttle out.
Mm-hmm.
After a lot of killing.
After Hector and the Snake Woman help kill everybody.
Yeah. And she doesn't follow
through
the code. She makes a free will choice to go back and get her daughter.
Because Felix found where her daughter was in the park.
Yes.
And did you notice where she was? Park number 1. Did you notice that was the first thing? Park 1, section whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Park 1, section 5.
Because they allude to Samurai
World.
Samurai World. I want to go back to Samurai World.
Yeah,
I want to go to Samurai World. Can we go there, please? They alluded to it.
Isn't Westworld Park 1, though?
Westworld is Park 1.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that means that's
there's
confirmed
other parks.
there's other parks out there.
Yeah, so when they went through that, and she's like, what is this? And he's like, the butcher dude's like, it's complicated.
I did like
Yeah,
when...
they're just, we wrote this that if it's only going to be one season, then it's a throwaway. But
Could be
now we're going to actually do more seasons.
Could be a separate storyline for Samurai World that they set up. Or
They said that was a little Easter egg they did in just because Michael Crichton's original one had 3 different worlds.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, Westworld, Greek World, and there was someplace else.
Not Samurai World?
No, there was another one.
Medieval World. Or
Yeah,
something?
I think it was Medieval.
Future World.
Well, Future World was the movie title. I think it was Medieval. Was the other one. But did you like my favorite part?
Mm-hmm.
Just a little small thing. When Felix, the butcher, finds out that Bernard's a robot, Felix starts moving like a robot. Like, am I a robot? And she's like, you're not a robot. You're fine. You're not a host.
Oh, she had the great line about how
You're the worst
human ever, and that's a
That's
compliment.
a compliment. Yeah, exactly. You're a poor excuse for a human, and I mean that as a compliment. Yeah, exactly.
I did like how the whole time I was like, I know it's part of your programming, but get on the train. Stay on the train. Get out of that world. Don't go back.
Yeah, but she makes a free will choice.
I know.
And she left her gun.
Yeah,
in
she
her
left her
purse.
purse
Yeah, what
gun
the
there.
hell? Come on. You know better than that. You only had one
Yeah.
thing, a purse. Bring it. We find out that William is the man in black.
Yeah, the basically confirmed. Everybody knew more or less, and you get the final William story where he's trying to hunt her down after they get separated, and he's a big asshole to Logan, who's an asshole anyway. So everybody's like, "Yeah, good, serves you right, Logan. You're an asshole."
So basically, he tied him up naked and just let him go by himself.
Yeah, I'm like, did that kill him?
No, I don't think it killed him.
I think it was
just being
discredit him in
I
front
mean,
of his
so
father.
Logan
I
goes
don't know.
back to Dad and says, "Dad, Billy's insane. Don't let him into the family." I mean, that discouraged him from.
I was
that's
expecting
what
to
I was
kill him.
confused.
What made William become a
Asshole.
Basically, he said basically found himself and blah blah blah. And
But his picture of his fiance is the one that Dolores' dad found in the first episode.
yeah,
that short-circuited him.
Short circuit.
Yeah, exactly. And we learned that a handful of them keep awakening and going through this cycle again. And obviously Maeve was one of them.
Yes.
Ford keeps rolling them back. Obviously Bernard Arnold has been doing it ever since. And so you get the Arnold story. How'd you like that backstory with Arnold? He didn't want to open the park because, he's like, Dolores, you're alive. Mm-hmm. I mean, intelligence-wise, yes.
I feel like I like that Dolores is the one that killed him. Arnold, I think he was just tired of the world. He did it. He wanted to see his son.
She was the Wyatt.
Yep.
And, he programmed Wyatt, the whatever that was, into him. And he was hoping that by her going off and killing everybody and killing him, they would shut the park down.
And the maze was his
Just
son's
kid's
toy.
little toy. Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, that was pretty clever. Like the whole maze.
Stupid maze was just a toy. Anger.
Yeah. Well,
Internet.
yeah,
Hello,
exactly.
Internet.
Anger.
How are you?
Yeah, exactly. Like anger. Even the Man in Black was angry because he never got it.
No.
Still,
I
at the very
love
end.
The
he
maze
never
was
figured
not
out.
built for you.
That's right. You're right. Exactly.
I love how the man in black, William, at the end was, you could just tell he spent 30 years trying to get to this maze and find a opponent that was worthy of him.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's not for you. And it's like, you just spent 30 years of your life coming to Westworld for no reason, basically, that you couldn't, because you're never going to be satisfied.
That's correct. Like playing a video game over and over again.
Yeah.
You'll never be completely satisfied.
Dolores did crack his arm, so that was nice.
That moment where Dolores, stops getting beat and she's crying. He's like, oh, go ahead, keep crying again. Cry for yourself. And she's like, I'm not crying. After she finds out he's William, she's like, I'm not crying for me. I'm crying for you.
I thought that was...
And what you've become. And then she opens the can of whoop ass and drags him like he dragged her.
Yes.
And you're just like, yeah, Dolores, go kick his fucking ass. And then she still couldn't pull the trigger. You're like, ah!
I know. I would have at least shot his knees or something.
She broke his arm, and she did harm him. You know, but Dolores was, too good.
Evan Rachel Wood did a hell of a job this year.
That was the acting for all the ladies in that. Was pretty,
Maeve was awesome.
Maeve was really good.
I'm figuring
Rachel Wood.
Hopkins is going to win he's old and in a TV show, so we're going to give him the Emmy this year.
He was great. I think he was really good in it.
If anybody's going to win an Emmy, it should be Tandy Newton.
Who's that?
Maeve.
Is that Maeve? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know her real name. I think Maeve should win one too. I agree. Cyclops
Very
was
good.
awesome in it.
Which one was Cyclops?
James Marsden.
Teddy.
Oh, Teddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was stunned that Teddy apparently was around from the beginning.
Yeah.
It made it feel like
Yeah.
Teddy was a newer.
Teddy,
one.
The theory was they made Teddy to, Ford made Teddy to torture Dolores over the, Arnold murder, but
Teddy was. I thought he was one of the originals too.
Always the accomplice.
They had like a small little quick hint of it back in like episode 5 or 6 or one of them, and I didn't know if he was as old as Dolores, but I knew he was getting up there. He was pretty far back. Ford gets shot and killed by Dolores.
let's talk about
Instead of
let's
resigning.
talk about Ford's ultimate narrative. Is that his ultimate narrative?
Yes.
Do you think he's actually dead?
Yes.
Who was he making in the basement when he whacked
You don't think
Bernard?
maybe he was making a Ford host to
Here's
be
the thing.
killed?
Realistically, okay, in that world, it could be he was making a fake Ford host, and that's who was killed. Realistically, in this real world, they did it because they're like, we're not coming back till 2018. Hopkins may be dead by then.
2016's been a bitch.
Yes. So Hopkins may not be alive. Let's just hedge our bets just in case.
Yeah, we don't have to do any CGI.
Yes.
Hopkins faces on.
I think he is dead. I would not be shocked if they brought him back, though, if he is still alive in 2018 and they film it.
It's kind of interesting. He almost chooses his new narrative. Is basically I'm going to have all the
Journeying tonight.
hosts turn on to you and kill you.
Yeah, good narrative.
Yeah, good. And I guess he's going away, but he was such a godlike figure in his madness of creation. And then he keeps rolling the AI back. Maybe he realized that he can't stop rolling the artificial intelligence back. The thing he got upset about, and when he's talking to Charlotte, she's talking about, we're gonna make them simpler, dumber. You're making them too complex, and turns out it wasn't him that put the reveries in the programming. It was actually Arnold, and he hadn't been able to stop it. The only thing he's been able to do is turn it around, wipe and erase.
I think Arnold knew it was only a matter of time until the host took over everything.
Well, that was Arnold's whole plan.
I mean, I'm not sorry, Ford. I'm sorry, Ford. Sorry.
Ford.
I think Ford knew that every time he rolls them back, it's less and less of what he can roll back. And I think he realized that they were going to take over eventually, possibly the world. Who knows?
And you're right, his whole creation is being stolen and out from underneath him.
But what a great
Being told to
fuck
retire.
you to corporate.
Exactly. Is that awesome?
You're
or
retired.
what?
You're going to retire tonight. Have a good day. No, I don't retire. I'm fucking killing you myself. Have a good day.
There's my new narrative.
One of the slight problems I have with the whole overall storyline is exactly what Arnold wanted 30 years ago.
Yes.
Turns out to be takes Ford 30 years to realize
Well,
it.
it takes Ford a long time to come around.
But I'm like, okay, this could have been done 30 years ago.
It could have been,
Ford
but he
would've
wasn't in
just
the same
listened.
place. He was a young, cocky kid back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, different motivations.
I think he found.
I probably need to watch the ending episode again so I can let it sink in again.
And am I right in assuming that the incident that happened 30 years ago was the whole Arnold getting killed and the Wyatt story? Is that what they mean by the incident that happened 30 years ago?
Yeah, that was the incident. That was Dolores.
Why does anybody know about this incident?
Man in Black knew about it. William knew about it.
Because he bought it.
But William and they knew about this incident coming in. Why the hell would anybody know about it? Why didn't they keep it a secret? No one even knew who the fuck Arnold was.
Well,
now can
30
you say
years
they
ago,
killed somebody?
30 years ago, they could have covered it up, too, for liability purposes.
Well, yeah, but they didn't cover it up well enough if when Logan and
maybe
Billy show up, they know about it.
I don't have an issue with that. I think possibly they were the investors. They saved that world, Westworld. So I think they probably had to see everything that was out there. I'm sure there's an insurance claim out there for, hey, these hosts got nuts.
Liability insurance clauses.
So your $2 billion deductible on these hosts, they all killed each other. They all killed themselves.
But that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to shoot each other. You're used to that.
Yeah,
that's part of the story.
It's an act of God, and since you're God, Ford, it's denied. Sorry.
But I mean, it's like they denied the existence of Arnold. Arnold was just a story. They didn't even know he was a real person.
I want to be an insurance
adjuster
for this.
So the death of Arnold couldn't have been the incident.
Wait a minute. Who was they hiding Arnold from?
I don't know. But Logan heard a story
The
about
hosts. He was trying to hide Arnold from the hosts.
But he hid him from everybody.
Man, 30 years ago, who was in charge of your company?
No, I'm talking about just a couple.
Exactly. I don't know. Fuck.
No, when Logan and Billy's storyline
Seriously,
was 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. 30 years ago. Where do you work now? Who was running that company 30 years ago? Do you know?
Are you listening to what I'm fucking
saying?
I'm
listening. I'm asking you a
you're
question.
jumping 30 years in the future. I'm talking about right now. This incident that just happened.
Which one?
The incident.
What incident?
When Dolores and Teddy went off.
When Dolores and Teddy, I'm assuming when they say, like, there's modern day, the incident that happened 30 years ago.
Yes.
Well, we also know that the Logan and William storyline happened almost 30 years ago.
Yes.
So it happened 2 years before they showed up to the park?
Yes.
And they're like, I heard that there might have been this Arnold guy. He was erased from all the records 2 years later.
No, William knew about, Man in Black knew about Arnold.
Man in Black knew about Arnold because Logan told him there was a story about it.
But again...
The only reason he knew about Arnold from there was because of Dolores.
So what effect does it have on the storyline?
It was nothing. It was just something Jeff
something bothered him about?
Well, I'm just... It's a bad...
Man in Black knew about Arnold.
He didn't know about it before he just showed up to the park.
No.
He
knew about it. As part of his thing is about finding the game. That, he said the game is not the game I'm looking for is not the Ford narrative. The game that he basically said I'm looking for Arnold's game, the maze. What is this?
He learned that through Dolores. I'm just saying nobody else unless they learned.
He didn't learn that through Dolores.
He learned Dolores and the maze. He learned about the maze through Dolores.
No, he didn't.
I think this is...
Yes, he did. Dolores
does it matter, though?
That was his whole storyline.
No,
that was William's storyline.
He learned about it. He knew about it, and he used Dolores to try and get to the maze.
No, he didn't even think about the maze until Dolores.
He didn't learn about the maze from Dolores.
Yes, he did.
He knew about the maze and tried to get it from Dolores.
I think he learned...
William, not the Man in Black, William. William learned about the maze from Dolores. When Dolores was going out on her own, she was looking for the maze, and he was trying to help her.
No, she was looking for the escape. She wanted to go home.
I think it's
which was the maze.
I think it kind of melded a little bit because the Man in Black didn't really know. He knew the maze a little bit, but
he knew there was something called the maze. He didn't even know what the hell it was.
And I think he started realizing that when Maeve was killed, and she started coming alive with her daughter too. I think that was kind of part of it too. But anyways, on a happier note.
Yeah, anyways. So anyways, who was in charge of your company 30 years ago?
Same people who are in charge of it now.
No.
I don't even know who's in charge of my company from week to week, so it's okay.
I'm going to put it this way. My company employs 4 people. So the owner is the same guy who owned it 30 years ago when he found it.
I want to be an insurance adjuster for this.
That's fine.
I want to be the insurance adjuster for this. This Westworld.
And I know it was 2 years ago when the incident happened and when I first showed up to the park.
There's an incident happened at your...
Mortuary affairs and property damage. Are the hosts property damage?
Well, they were property.
Yeah. Yeah, they're property damage
but they
claim.
were doing exactly what they were designed to do and shoot each other.
That's true, but...
I mean, you can't insure that.
Oh, you could insure anything, trust me.
But you're not paying it.
Well, I never said that.
When you say they acted the exact way that they were built to act. Why are you trying to make a claim?
And at the very end, the safeguards were gone because the bullet actually hits William, Man in Black, in his good arm. And you see blood shoot out, and he's like, ah.
I did like at the end when the troops were all coming out of the woods, William was just like, oh, fuck, this is how I finally got my challenge.
Here's my challenge, and I'm dead.
Yeah. Not yet. You don't know if he's dead.
That's true. You don't see him die. You see him take a bullet to his left arm.
Yeah, I think he comes back.
If Ed Harris is alive in 2 years.
Stop at 2016.
If he doesn't do Major League 4.
Major League 4? It's not Corbin Burnson. See in Major League 3?
I don't know of Ed Harris being in any of the Major League movies.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting mixed up with Corbin. Sorry. But no, I was thinking about, the lady who bought the Indians and wanted to move them to Florida, she died this week, too.
What?
Yes. Just like yesterday.
Oh.
So that's why I was thinking
I
Major
thought you were still
League.
talking Westworld. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
the Indians?
No.
Who
No.
Yeah. So Hemsworth is probably dead because the Ghost Nation probably killed him.
Yes.
Yeah,
They lured him out
he
there.
wasn't in this episode at all, was he?
No.
I kept wondering what happened to him.
You never know what happened to him.
Him or
At
Elsie.
least Elsie, you believe she's dead.
I think Elsie's dead.
I think she's
Speaking
dead.
of,
Dead Bernard Wacker.
I don't know.
I think Chris Hemsworth, I would not be shocked
Like
if
you
in
said-
season 2 he shows up as one of Ghost Nation.
Chris Hemsworth? That would be impressive.
Is it Chris Hemsworth? Who is it? Sorry.
Thor?
No, not Thor. Sorry. Liam?
No, it's not. It's not the
George Hemsworth.
Yeah, okay, George
Uh,
Hemsworth.
I would love to
Yes.
see George Hemsworth show up as one of Ghost Nation next season.
Lost in Samurai World.
I want to see Samurai World.
No, as you say, if you haven't seen the body, we don't know what happened to Hemsworth.
Charlotte
whatever
could
his
still
name
be
is.
alive. You didn't see
Oh,
her
I
actually
hope
get
she
whacked.
is. Because that board member,
We didn't actually see Elsie get killed. We just saw her get grabbed and struggle. Mm-hmm. So maybe they might show up.
the one downside of this episode is there was not enough nudity sitting on a stool. Not enough of that.
There was a lot of nudity just standing in the...
Lots of penis,
In
lots
the
of
fish
floppy.
tanks. Yeah,
lots
lots
of floppy.
floppies.
Lots of
Just
floppy.
Perfect for the floppies
Although wasn't that
awards
cool
coming
when
up.
they go down to the place of retired things and it's empty.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they're all
Coming out of
they're
the
all
woods.
Wyatt's
But he
narrative,
walks
yeah.
down there and it's like, oh,
Yeah, that
shit.
asshole writer, the
Yeah.
asshole British writer. He's like, he's like opens it up. He's like, oh shit.
But he's in good shape. He's inside. He's getting the fuck out. I did like how they locked security all inside the room.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That was pretty cool.
It was a good season. It's probably one of my favorite first seasons of any show that I've seen.
Yeah, and I like the big reveals at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not right up front showing you everything.
It
took a while to get there.
I actually thought the season would end with Maeve getting off the train in the real world, and you would see like it's on Mars or someplace.
I'm glad they.
I'm
at
glad
least
they
as
didn't.
of now, it's not.
I'm
on
glad. I'm
Mars.
glad they
Yeah.
didn't. But I'm just saying, I would not. I was kind of waiting for that to be the big reveal at the end, like, oh shit, here I am in this world, or something like that. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm excited about season 2. Unfortunately, it's another year
Well,
away.
it is kind of neat. You know, Dolores goes into her narrative. There's beauty in this world, and blah 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 blah. And when she's talking to Man in Black, and she's basically saying, "Well, if your world's so great, why are you all keep trying to come in here?"
Yeah.
And that's why I'm wondering what happened to that outside world.
Well, it's perfect, apparently. I mean, they've cured diseases. They've done all other kind of stuff. And the Man in Black obviously runs
apparently they
cancer
Apparently
solving
they
facility.
didn't
Save
cure
that
all
guy's
diseases.
wife's life. Which I thought was one of the funnier moments in the thing. Hey, you're so insane. You're that guy.
I'm on
Your
vacation.
your organization saved my wife's
on my
life from
fucking
cancer.
lunch break.
He's like, I'm on fucking vacation. Are you say another word to me? I'm gonna slit your fucking throat. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's your Westworld wrap up.
Although, did you think it was a little anticlimactic? Like the big reveal was that Man in Black was William, since that was
Yeah,
the
I think everybody
speculation
kind of figured that.
from episode 1.
Especially when you start seeing the knife that he used is the same one from beginning.
Yeah,
to
they
end.
really
It's like-
played the knife up in the finale.
Yeah.
And the good thing about it is I do like the slow build, and everybody had yes, that is
Yeah.
Man in Black. And then basically, I think at that point everybody knew. It's just nice to have it confirmed.
Yeah.
They
I
said-
was actually hoping and all hope that it's going to turn out that it's Logan and not William.
That was the only
That's
other
it.
thought.
They're going to twist it and they're going
Yeah.
to make you think it's William this whole time and it's going to be Logan or
That
something.
would've
Yeah,
been funny.
especially when Man in Black starts talking about himself in the third person. Let me
Yeah.
tell you about what happened to William.
will.
And it's going to see William in the end, and see at the end of his first visit, he kills that guy and he picks up that black hat,
Yeah.
and puts it on.
The who's the writer of the series?
Nolan.
Yeah,
Jonathan Nolan.
Jonathan Nolan said the first season was all about control, Second season is about chaos. So I'm figuring it's got to be like some of the humans. You're going to follow them trying to survive in that world, right?
That would be interesting.
Ooh, kind of like the original Westworld, where they're running around and they're being hunted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go to Samurai World. I want to fucking see Samurai World.
That'd be cool.
Would.
All right. So, were you left with any disappointing narratives?
Yeah. I enjoyed it, really. I liked it all.
Everything wrapped up neatly, and they left some open-ended endings that they could expand upon if they want to in 2 years.
Yeah. Anything I...
No dead body, no crime.
I had no issues with anything that they kind of left open. I'm intrigued to see where it goes next season. I thought it was very well done that you could have done this season and you don't have to watch anything else if you didn't want to, any other seasons. Because it did a very good job beginning to end.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there are no seasons, do you think it was successful?
Yeah, I think it was. I think a lot of shows need to do that. Second season, you connect it, but I think you still have to make a good narrative from start to finish, and it could stand on its own.
They got to do it. We discussed this.
We discussed this several times. True Detective is like they said, here's the beginning, here's the end. We're going to do 10 episodes. Go. Yeah. And none of this like, well, you're in episode 7. Are we going to be renewed for 3 more? I don't know what to do. You're not going to have 7 years of Lost where you've lost
Walking
your
Dead.
life watching that shit.
Okay, Lost was only on for 6 years, so...
We have a polar bear.
What's with the machine? Exactly. What's with the ghost?
Well, they
the
knew
smoke
exactly
machine.
what the polar bear was.
Excuse me, I watched an episode. Okay, so just simmer down.
They had you're saying like the polar bear was one of the mysteries they didn't
I didn't
answer.
even see the episode with the polar bear. I just heard about it.
What was the answer for the polar bear?
The polar bear was just one of they had the zoo or whatever, the animals from the zoo that they had. Remember when Sawyer was locked in the bear cage? It's the polar bears. That's where they used to be.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, there are polar bears on the island. You're like, why are there polar bears on the island? Because they had a zoo. I mean, that's the answer.
I don't remember that, but I'll take it.
You don't remember when Sawyer and Kate were locked in the bear cages?
I remember they were in cages, yeah.
Okay.
I
Kate
they were-
Hudson?
Yes, it's Kate Hudson.
And men in polar bear cages reminds me it's time for listener feedback.
All right.
All right, so we're going to start with the first guy who wasn't in the polar bear cage. He was actually in the giraffe cage.
Oh, number one fan, Doug?
Yes, exactly. Number one fan, Doug. He says, thoughts on the Las Vegas NHL logo.
The Golden Knights.
Yeah, meh. Okay.
Army.
I got a question.
7.
If you're going to be located in Nevada, which is
Okay.
known as the Silver State, why
Silver.
are you the Golden Knights? Why wouldn't you be like the Silver Knights or Silver something, or throw silver in the name somehow?
I feel like it's they were going to go with the Golden Showers. Then they realized what that was. And then they just
And then
switched
they
it to the
changed
Knights.
it then?
I think they changed it to the
I
Golden
thought they
Knights.
were going to do the, the Vegas craps.
Just have a guy on a toilet as the thing.
No, they were just going
He's
to have
shitting
two.
dice out.
They're just going to have 2 6-sided dice.
Two
Yeah.
dice popping out of a toilet.
Yeah. That wouldn't go sell very well.
Now, this comes from
Or
love.
the Vegas Blackjacks. See?
It could be
See, that
Yosemite
could've been
Sam.
better.
Ten
Yeah.
of-
Yosemite Sam with like an ace and a king.
No, 10 of clubs. 10 of clubs.
Oh,
Call me blackjack. Okay, and this comes from a place of love because I really did love the XFL. But I feel like it's a very XFL name. And I don't like that. I don't feel like it's the Golden Knights.
The
It's like-
Army is considering copyright because that's what their football team is. They're the Golden Knights. And, the symbol kind of looks a little bit like theirs because of the same helmet thing. But who cares?
Yeah,
If I was the Army, I'd say, hey, advertisement.
You mean it looks just like a medieval helmet? No.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the one
like-
that's pretty popular.
Is
that a magic helmet?
Magic helmet.
Me and my magic helmet. So there you go, Doug. There's your response.
They should have been the Black
We actually
Knights,
responded to one.
because none shall pass.
Just a flesh wound. And just, they should be the Black Knights and have just him with the limbs cut off and torso
That'd be
and a
pretty
hockey
cool.
stick leaning against him.
Torso Knights.
You know,
Have a
the,
goalie net in the background.
the goalie's helmet could be the Black Knight's helmet.
I like it.
Hey, it works.
We did get a follow-up on this from Twitter here. There you go, Blake. The top question there.
From the Pop Culture Cafe.
Yes.
So that Bad Ideas podcast. Okay, gentlemen, and Blake. You know I'm not part of the gentlemen.
No, you're not.
No.
Well, that's because you're not on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you're not, gentlemen.
I'm not a gentleman. Now that Westworld is done, what show will fill the void?
Which show will fill the void?
Actually, I have several shows that fill the void.
Okay, what is it?
Vikings just started up this past week. And the
3
curse-
seasons behind on
And the
that.
Curse
it.
of Oak Island.
Stop it.
Curse of Oak Island.
My daughter was sick today, so I stayed home, and I was flipping through while she was napping, and I
Yes.
was like, there's a marathon on the Curse of Oak Island. I was like, fucking Blake, God, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this. I'm not doing it.
I'm telling you, it is pretty cool.
No.
You just skip the first 5 minutes of every, lead in and every lead out because it's
Because
there's only like
recap.
the recap and the end cap. You just watch the 2 minutes of the middle of the episode in order to keep advancing the storyline.
Oh, I hate when shows do that.
Yeah.
Oh, before we go to break, we'll show you what's coming up. Now that we're back from break, let's tell you what just happened.
What is this? Could it be? Is this a Templar sign? Could the Templars have been here and brought the gold from the temple? Could the
No.
Templars have been here and left this mark? Is it Templar gold?
Nope, it's actually Harold, the sound man. He dropped a penny
And the answer
earlier.
is no, it is not Templars.
Did you find the treasure? No. Next. I don't
Could
know.
the ancient Aztecs gone north with their king's ransom and gone? And you're just like, oh my god, please
And
stop.
after further investigation, no, it's not the Aztecs.
I know what's going to fill my void for TV. Hairspray the musical. It's on Wednesday night.
Oh, Wednesday night.
No, I'm not.
live. It's live.
I hate Hairspray. I hate Hairspray.
You don't have any hair, so you really don't need that.
I use Aquanet. I got a picture taken. We went and cut down a Christmas tree this year. We've done that the past couple years. And we got a family picture. And I looked at my wife. I was like, I'm really bald. Like, I lost a lot of hair up there.
Wow.
Coming back a lot.
Your receding hairline
Yeah,
has
it's receding a lot.
receded a lot.
And she's like, I could have told you that a while back. Thanks for that.
Wow, so it took the selfie stick picture for you to
Oh,
realize
fucking
it.
selfie stick. We got it for free from a vendor, so that's why.
I was wondering because I
Oh, we didn't pay for it. No,
I
no,
wanted
no.
to give you guys crap.
No, I gave my wife crap on that one. No, it's not as good, obviously, but I will say I'm digging Legends of Tomorrow. I'm loving that show.
That's the only one I'm completely caught up with as the CW
I missed the crossover episode, but I'm caught up on that as well. I love that show. It is very well done. It's fun.
It's got the feeling that Flash had 2 years ago.
It did, and I did like it. Like I like that White Canary is the leader. I like that.
Oh, you liked that they got rid of Rex Hunter.
Rip Hunter. Do you think he comes back? I hope not.
think it's written so he can. Whether they bring him back or not,
I will say it was a
depends.
kind of surprise that he was gone.
Yeah, I was surprised too.
Heatwave still is one of my favorite characters in it.
He does well.
Okay, so they're in the samurai village, or the ninja. Sorry, they're in the
the ninja one.
Yeah,
Okay.
There and White Canary's like, you guys go this way, you guys do this way. We're going to research this. And Heatwave's like, I'm going to sit here and take a nap. You guys have fun. I'm it. And that's what he does. He's like, fuck it. And I like that he has Ray Palmer as his partner now.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. You see a lot of growth with him, which I was not expecting.
You see his growth.
Ew.
There it is. So I like Legends Tomorrow. It's really picked up for me this year.
That reminds me. I see this meme. You see these two guys, hanging by their wrists up on the wall in the medieval. And there's the tortured guy with the hood and a whip. And those guys, the two guys on the wall are hanging by their wrists, are only wearing smocks. And it's pretty obvious, the guy's got a whip. And it's obvious the guy's excited. He's got his boner sticking out through the tarp. And he's looking at the other guy hanging on the wall going, oh, this is kind of embarrassing, isn't it? So I don't know what it has to do with Legends of Tomorrow, but
It
what
is
were we talking
legendary.
about?
I do one quick last thing on Legends Tomorrow. White Canary, when she's facing Damien Dark,
Yeah.
and he goes, what, you going to kill me now? She's like, no, I know what the future holds for you. And I know that you're going to go with your plan to build the Ark and everything. And then you're going to see your wife die. You're going to try to kill your own daughter. And then you're going to see the city rise up against you. And you're going to fail after all this work. That was awesome. I just loved her response to that.
But now she tipped him on what was going to go wrong.
we got
so,
funny.
So now they changed the future again.
Oh, God, please no. Stop it, Barry. Just stop it. Stop going back in time. Moving on. What? Let's do the next question.
Next question. The Stick Figures with Funny Hats podcast, otherwise known as Passerby Podcast.
Hello, Matthew.
Says, all right, so what are your feelings on Lori Petty as a person?
She's a person?
She's got all her limbs, so she's
not the Black Knight.
I mean, she exists as a person.
I feel like her character in Orange is the New Black is kind of her real life personality.
I didn't see Orange is the New
Annoying.
Black. So I'm going to assume that her real life personality was her character from Gotham.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a club owner. Yeah, the night. Yeah,
That wore a lot of leather.
yeah.
Leather.
Speaking of Gotham, I finally saw the last episode. You guys caught up in that yet?
Nope.
The acting's pretty good. I like it.
I'll put
I'm
it this
telling
way.
you.
Gotham might be what I fill the void with so I can catch up.
We need to
There you
because-
go. You
before
gotta
the
do it
floppies.
Before the floppies. You better.
Oh, we need to.
We need to
You
catch up.
better.
At least get through 90% of it, 80%. I will be catching up on it, hopefully by floppy time, because rumor has it that number one fan Doug will be on the podcast for the floppies, and he is voting for Gotham. So,
Well, you act like his vote counts, though.
I don't know. I feel like anyone that shows up gets a vote. So, there you go.
Oh,
Well, I feel like he doesn't.
And speaking of the floppies, we do have to send a shout out to Green Up, the podcast.
Oh, yes.
The Floppy Awards episode comes out on December 27th. He made a nice little promo for us, actual visual promo.
Yeah, a poster, if you
Yes,
will.
that he is going to be listening live on. Well, it's not live. He's going to be listening to it when it comes out at
He's gonna
7
listen to it
o'clock.
at the time of release.
At 7 o'clock that night, he said. And that he is going to be tweeting along and talking about it. He may even do a podcast episode about it.
And he invited
Anybody.
everybody to listen and follow the tweets and tweet along.
Yes. So we may have had Green Up issues with Green Up in the past because they're jealous of us being Oregon's #1 podcast. But they can get over that. We do thank them for that. That was very nice. And
we overtook the Doomsday Prepper podcast.
we
out there.
did. So they're third. Green Up's third.
Ooh.
You could change that poster. You know, here's the thing. They do something really nice.
And then you insult them.
And I insult them.
But as we've learned,
Yes.
that's how you know you're true friends.
Yes. We insult you to your face.
Yes. As a coworker of yours says, the worst thing you can call me is friend.
I've been told that by a couple people.
He's like, I see how you treat your friends. The worst thing you can call me is friend.
Yes. So, Green Up, thank you very much for that. And we'll be tweeting, at least, I may not be on air live, but I will be tweeting that day and talking about it. So, December 27th is when it's released. Keep going, Blake. What do you got?
Next up, we got more corrections from Dev.
Big Dev the Psy Guy. Dev. Big Dev the Psy Guy. Dev.
And he may just be the only listener feedback with his own theme song.
Yeah, we don't even have a theme song
We
for
don't have a
listener
theme song for
feedback.
our own listener feedback. But Dev, who says that listener feedback, actually gets a song from somebody else who does listener feedback.
And this is, again, why Heno might win the floppy
There
for
you
best songwriter on the team. Step it up, Dr. Bednar.
All right, corrections. Let me get into the side guy voice. And hashtag Blue Moon is made by Molson Coors and distributed under the craft/import division of hashtag Miller Coors.
That was about our conversation about Blue Moon a couple weeks ago being bought by another company who really wrecked Blake's lifestyle.
Apparently,
Were they even bought by
exactly.
or were they created by?
A little bit of both.
A little bit. Okay, so Miller Coors, Molson Coors, whatever.
But he is correct.
Yeah, so then he says...
That's the only correction I think we have.
No, well, that's the only correction he does have, but he's got a couple more things here. So I guess there's kind of a correction from Dev, the American non-historian. Says, tell Scab Jeff that hashtag Lucifer is okay.
We were talking about Lucifer last week. Cousin Pam said, hey, I'm really interested. I really like Lucifer. Is anyone watching it? We all said no.
Yes.
And I think Scab Jeff said he saw one episode, wasn't sold on it. I think that's was it.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Anyway, so
Yeah,
Dev said no. Stop it.
Yeah, and
Dev
Dev
said Lucifer is okay.
it says it's okay.
Now, is it a praise Or
on
is
the
he
movie
saying-
poster.
Is he saying, it's okay? Or is he saying, it's okay?
This Monday night, watch the show that Dev from Snake Oil says is okay. This is the show that you need to see. Neil from Dark Angels says, I didn't see it, but it's awesome. This Monday night at 10 p.m.
Yes. And then Dev says that I love my theme song. Thanks, #1 fan Doug.
Oh,
Hey, Doug, why don't you get us some listener feedback theme song?
some pod love.
Let's get some theme song there.
And then along
Dropping the ball.
along similar lines here, we have Steph at Gotham Lights.
Ooh.
I've listened to that podcast.
Yeah.
She says,
I'm a little behind on that because I'm behind on Gotham and I don't
Yeah.
want the spoilers.
3 seasons into Gotham, it's the only podcast left about Gotham.
Oh.
I mean, they're so good they monopolized everybody.
Yes, that's right.
They absorbed all the other podcasts.
Or Gotham is so bad that every other podcast gave up after it. Fuck this. Why
I
are we
don't
still
think,
doing
it's not bad. It's good. What are you talking about?
Okay, it's up there with that, fam.
Well, that's
Seriously,
good.
are you ever going to drop that?
Yeah, see,
I know.
that's
You see
good,
that horse?
see?
That horse? I beat it down into
I don't see
glue.
a horse. I just see a pile of glue.
Oh, here, I thought you actually had real steak here.
Oh.
Apparently, those marks are where the jockey was whipping it. All right, Steph at Gotham Light says, I do watch Lucifer. I was actually talking Heno into watching it last night as well. This season has been amazing. Love it. It's such a clever, entertaining show. Well, isn't that special, Steph at Gotham Lights? What made you say that? Could it be Satan?
All right, flashback to the
You
90s.
really like it now, don't you?
We're really going for that 59 to 75-year-old demographic.
Church
Wow,
lady.
you're making us old, Jay.
Yeah, I know.
No, it
Jumping
is horrible.
broccoli.
I will say that I am intrigued by Lucifer. It does look like a fun show, like the
Well,
leads
most
look.
people are tempted by Lucifer, Jason.
I think that's Lucifer's job.
I think that's his whole allure.
He's got one job. To tempt you.
Temptation. That's right.
Thanks, guys. I'm done with that question.
Hey,
gonna
hold
finish
on a
that
second.
thought.
The theological podcast is down the other hall. All right, Chris at 365 Flicks. He says, all that talk of space poop and not one of you made a captain's log joke? Come on, Hobie, this is basic stuff. Well, go ahead, Chris, with your superior British humor. Rub it in. Go ahead.
He just did
Oh,
with his superior British humor.
Damn, he got me twice.
good day, mate. Well played.
Yeah.
Put a
All right.
shrimp on the barbie.
So we dropped the ball on that one.
Yes, we did.
Oh, that's an American football term when you're supposed to be carrying the ball and you drop it.
Not-
It's a bad thing because in his football they aren't even supposed to touch it with
Yeah,
their
they're not
hands.
even allowed to touch
Oh,
the
we got
ball.
soccer. Oh, it's soccer. It's such a tough sport.
They
I
don't call
run.
it soccer. So
I know.
You're
They call it
failing.
foosball, right?
Yes, foosball.
Foosball.
You gotta walk like the river dance guys. Can't touch anything.
All I know is that our baseball is superior to that cricket shit.
Well, yeah, because baseball ends after 4 hours.
That cricket shit looks like a cross between equestrian horse riding and highlight. I still don't know how it works.
I don't know.
I like highlight.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling we're going to hear from Nikki on this one. Isn't cricket big in
Yes,
the New Zealand area?
it is,
So
it
we're going to
is.
hear about
Oh,
that.
yeah, it's also big in Pakistan.
In India.
Yeah. All right.
big in India.
Yeah, now we're on the death list. All right, so next we got Professor Number One and Doctor Number One. Says, listening to your last episodes, is it true that I can win a floppy by sending Jason porn?
No, if you send Jason porn, you'll get a stiffy.
Oh, look at that one.
See what I did
Oh,
there?
yeah, I see what you did there.
Better than any joke I was going to come up with. Deb sent us some
I've
nice
been waiting
pets.
all night to give that joke.
Let's see. Dev sent us 12 pounds of Pez and some comic book porn. Pleasure Cave. It's very good. So, yeah, please don't send porn to us. No more. Please don't. Just leave it in the woods. We will go get it.
Let's see here. We have the book Zombies that Jeff signed that you still haven't sent to the winner that we drew, 6 months ago?
6 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah,
6 weeks
like
ago?
three months ago.
We still have a Serbian film,
That's for the Comic Expo next year.
Comic Expo next year. All right, just checking.
It's time for another installment of the News of the Geek.
WeGotThisCovered.com, longest title of a website. Next to We Got This Covered 2. Talked to Brad Payton, the director of San Andreas. So how bad, he never makes anything bad.
Yeah.
He's directing Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock, again for the video game adaptation of Rampage.
Now, is this the guy that did San Andreas, a movie about a video game?
San Andreas was the one about the earthquake that was destroying the whole West Coast.
Like the fault line was shifting, not...
Oh, I thought this was a Grand Theft Auto movie.
No. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a helicopter pilot. He goes into a chasm.
2012 knockoff.
Yes.
Yeah. He goes into a chasm with a helicopter.
Yes.
The
no
blades
fucking
get
way. No way.
The blades hit the side, but it's okay. He's fine. He can handle it.
Yeah,
And they just scrape.
They did.
Yeah, whatever.
He got his ex-wife off the top of a... Well, wait a minute. That didn't sound right.
Okay. I think that sounded perfectly fine.
Yeah, never mind. We're moving on. So they caught up with him, with Payton, and he told the site about his plans for the movie. Because the Rampage was about 3 humans that get transformed into giant monsters.
And knock buildings out. That was the whole thing about the video game, was destroy the buildings. It was awesome.
You take down Peoria first. That was the first city. I always remember that.
Yeah, because Peoria is such a thriving metropolis.
But it is funny.
It starts small.
It did start small, like each bit did go.
Oh, that's true. That's a video game. You eventually get to New York City, blah, blah, blah.
New York City. With Rampage, we are using our love of the original game as our inspiration. Well, that's good because you're basing a movie off of it.
I hated the original game, but I'm still going to be inspired by it.
I don't know how they're going to make a movie out of this.
Well,
this video game is
They made
ridiculous.
a Battleship.
Just so they could say you sank my battleship?
With Liam Neeson. And George Hemsworth. So it's got to be good.
It was not George Hemsworth.
I feel like it was George Hemsworth.
It was Thor?
No.
George Thor Hemsworth?
Liam?
Sounds like an old time.
There wasn't even a Hemsworth in it, was there?
Yeah, there was a Liam Hemsworth or Chris Hemsworth or George. I'm dead serious.
I
Look
thought
it
it was
up.
the guy that played Thor.
Okay.
know.
I
It's
mean, I
one
know
of the
Charlie
Hemsworths.
Hunnam was in it. He was the main guy.
Charlie
I
Hunnam
thought.
was in it?
Was in Battleship?
Yeah. Are you sure?
Or it's Pacific Rim I'm thinking of.
Pacific Rim, Battleship.
I'm confused.
They're all horrible movies. I
Was
can
he
see
in
how it
Major
works.
League?
Yeah.
I'm confused. You can buy it for $3.99 on iTunes. Battleship was directed by Peter Berg. That does enough.
Wow.
Taylor
Peter
Kitsch.
Berg.
Taylor Kitsch.
Oh, Gambit. The
Alexander
original Gambit.
Skarsgård. Rihanna. Brooklyn Decker. Liam Neeson's not even in the top 5. Jeez. So there you go.
He paid to have that situation. He's like, don't
Take that off of my IMDb
don't put me in the
page.
top 5.
I feel like that was a pretty decent
I'll take
one.
a pay cut.
I feel like, is it bad that I was going to try to be Sean Connery, and then I realized that's not Liam Neeson. Never mind.
Never mind.
Oh,
Anyways.
for you it's the same accent.
I don't think so. Liam Neeson, Peter Berg. Yeah, that's it. I can't get anyone else. Well, maybe Hemsworth wasn't in it. Anyways,
Rampage.
then we're going to build a movie like San Andreas that is really going to surprise people in what it delivers.
Big pile of shit.
It's going to be a lot more emotional, a lot scarier, a lot more real than you expect.
3 humans turn into a giant wolf, Godzilla, and what? Gorilla? And punch the shit out of buildings.
A wolf, a gorilla, and a lizard walk into a bar.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you looked at the original concept about lab that affects these animals and makes them rampage, and that's the nugget. Those humans.
Nugget.
If they called me tomorrow to do Call of Duty, I wouldn't want to play any Call of Duty games. I have to come up with something that deserves to be its own thing. That's where a lot of these movies can go wrong. So he hasn't looked at Rampage?
So, is he getting his inspiration from Yui Boll?
I don't know.
There's a video game. Let's make a script.
Yuri Boll's retiring?
Oh, yeah, he should, because the German government won't give him any more money to make movies.
Who says 2016's evil?
The one good thing.
Let's see.
Yeah, one good thing about 2016. Yui Boll retired.
There you go. Let's see. He said, obviously, it's a much bigger movie and it's meant for a broader audience, but there's still horror
what broader
elements.
audience is that?
There's still a monster
Old guys
movie
that
at the
played
core.
the video game back in 1980 something.
I feel like this is the best part, and I get to work with Dwayne Johnson again. Oh,
There you go. Hey, you smell what he's cooking.
I'm so excited about it. That's the 3: the lizard, the ape, and the wolf. So we're keeping it similar, but you have to tune into the tease on where we're going with this.
Oh boy.
So I'm getting a little disappointed because it says the actor will take on the gorilla, the lizard, the
Yes,
wolf.
they're going to make Dwayne Johnson superhuman.
Fight the lizard, the
yes.
ape, and the
So
wolf.
Dwayne Johnson is not going to be one of the three
he's going
monsters.
to be huge. They're going to grow him.
They're gonna grow him so he can punch out. He can do some WWE wrestling in New York City.
Oh God, if he does a people's elbow to the gorilla,
You know
in this,
it's coming.
I'm out.
That's what they need to do. They need to do the whole movie from the perspective of the tank crew that comes in on the. You just see in the distance the big monster and like try to shoot it. Boo boo. An entire hour and a half of just that little crew trying to get in position to shoot at the monsters.
You build an hour and a half about that crew in the tank. You learn about their families, what makes them tick, and then they get to Peoria, and they're like, "We're taking it, smash." The end. That's
Godzilla
it.
smashes. Yeah,
You just see a
smashes
foot.
underneath him.
That's all you see of the monsters is a foot.
No. The best part was when you punch and then you pull up a person and eat them.
Oh, that would
Yeah,
be the main
it's a-
star.
yeah.
Taylor Kitsch gets eaten.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
And
gonna
you,
say Dwayne
and you
Johnson.
know, they're gonna have to be doing some cheesy Godzilla homages. You know, Dwayne the Rock Johnson's gonna grab the lizard by the tail and start spinning him around, swinging him around. You know, maybe knocking a building over or two and throwing them.
Maybe they'll get like the people that did the Power Rangers cut scenes to do the battle scenes.
What do you think about Power
The
Rangers?
monster
trailer
versus the robot.
Oh, you're talking about the actual cheesy ones.
Yeah. No, I was actually very intrigued by the
Power Rangers.
So
Ranger.
where will the wolf wear those ripped jeans
Oh God.
like he did in video games?
Jorts.
The jorts. Yeah, the ripped jean jorts.
Oh God, this is gonna be awful.
And
right?
the wolf's wearing pants. Why isn't the gorilla?
How?
Because he was
That's
the
one
nudist.
giant floppy running around there.
Doug will, number one fan Doug will play the gorilla with the ape hands.
No, he's just a hand model. They may use his hands for
Hands.
close-ups. They may CGI his hands onto the gorilla.
He hasn't been on in a while
When
because
they
of
do
that.
close-ups where he's like grabbing on the side of the building, it'll be Doug's hand actually.
Look how smooth those hands are. They're huge, but they are
So what you're saying
smooth.
is that they'll get Big Dev to actually be the gorilla, but they'll do close-ups of.
They're gonna do CGI hands.
Doug's
Yeah, they're gonna
hands.
CGI his ape hands on there. Exactly.
Let's see here. Moving on. FX.
But you remember that? Oh gosh, you remember that little cartoon I told you guys about a long time ago?
With the guy with the nuts in the knees
Yeah, with
or
the
something?
king. No, the King Kong's climbing the Empire State Building.
I do remember you talking about that.
Yeah, it was National Lampoon when I had a National
Yeah, I
Lampoon
remember vaguely
comic.
you talking about.
Yeah, so King Kong's got his legs wrapped around the Empire State Building. He's like straddling the building and holding
Humping
on.
it, dry humping.
And his face is off, turned to the side, and the planes are flying around him. And he's got this little thought bubble that says, "Hey, my penis fits perfectly in this window."
You think that's the darker part of this
Yeah,
movie?
that's the darker part of the movie.
Are we all going to this opening night?
No.
I think it'll be really good.
No.
I'm going to the matinee the next morning.
Okay. You're not paying full price for this shit. FX has officially ordered a pilot for the project titled Mayans, MC.
Isn't this insensitive to Mayans?
Mayans, MC, the Hollywood Reporter has learned. It's the Sons of Anarchy spinoff. Kurt Sutter, the co-creator, along with Elgin James, he was another co-creator, co-wrote the pilot script. Sutter is also set to direct the pilot, which begins production in March. He's directing the pilot because if it gets picked up, he gets money off of that now. More, because if you direct the pilot, you get residuals.
From everything?
Yes. That's why pilot episodes, they always have big name directors usually do the TV shows, because if they get picked up, they get some type of residual.
So our friend of the show did the pilot, JB or whatever, did the,
Jason Brown
did the pilot for
Speechless.
so he gets.
I
all
think he was
those
assistant
residuals?
director though.
Oh, he's on.
It's the main
AD.
director.
God, so being the 80 isn't.
I don't know how
worthwhile?
much residual, but they do get. That's why they said, I was reading an article. This is a while back. That is why they get big name directors on the first pilots. They always want. Oh yeah, I'll direct that. I'll direct Big Bang. I'll direct Kevin Can Wait. No, Spielberg, stop it. Can we make Kevin Can Wait in black and white with just a red scarf? But instead of a red scarf, it's a red ketchup stain on his shirt. It's hilarious. Fuck you, Kevin James. Take a drink for those playing at home. Let's see. Mayans MC is this set to
Mayans MC. That sounds like a rapper group. You know.
Yo, Mayans MC
Mayans
in the
MC.
house.
Because we're the Mayans.
Yeah, you're reaching.
That's all I have.
Okay, there we go. It's going to take place in a post-Jack Teller world, where Easy Reyes, a prospect of the Mayan MC charter on the California-Mexican border, struggles with his desire for vengeance against the cartel and his need for respect from the women he loves. So.
Notice it's women,
Yes.
not woman.
Yes. Let's see here. Sutter first revealed he was developing the spin-off of the popular franchise in a cover story for The Hollywood Reporter in August 2015. Let's see. That was around the launch of The Bastard Executioner.
Oh, that's right.
He said the spin-off to the Sons of Anarchy would be a different tone, pace, and storytelling. It would be unique. He said he actually quit The Bastard Executioner. He pulled the plug on it because basically nobody was watching it.
I was.
Nobody else was watching it. His quote was, "I don't want to write something that nobody's fucking watching." So,
I watched the first 5 minutes of it, and wow, that was the hardest 5 minutes
Did you
of
like
television to watch.
Did you like it, Blake?
Yeah, I liked it because it was in a medieval setting and it was a different
I
storyline.
thought I was going to like it, but I just was like, it's going nowhere.
I kept staying with it.
What? Did you finish the whole season?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What was better, first 5 minutes of Bastard Executioner or Kevin Can Wait?
Bastard Executioner.
Okay. Man with the Plan.
Man
Just
with
from the
plan.
commercials,
Man with the Plan,
looks bad.
but it's better than Kevin Can Wait.
It's up for a floppy this year. Worst new show.
Ooh.
So same with Kevin Can Wait. So keep it out there for everybody. So and now that 6% said are awful, Westworld is up for worst film of the year, show of the year too. Thank you, internet.
Also, we can force Westworld to win a floppy if we pull some strings.
Ooh.
Is it possible that we can have like our own floppies, Westworld in the best, and we put Westworld in the worst, and have it win both categories?
We could, but it's not.
That'd be pretty controversial, wouldn't it?
It
You
would
think
be.
We could spark some controversy.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll get national spotlight for doing that.
That's right.
Well, I will say the fans voted, and we do have the top 4 fan picks for the floppies for best comic book show.
All right.
So that's a little tease. There's some surprises in there.
Ooh.
So.
I
I
was
like
surprised.
surprises.
Quickies, The Mummy, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 both released trailers this past week.
I saw The Mummy today.
It was good.
Weird.
It was weird, but I kind of liked
Tom
it.
Cruise.
He was running.
Yeah.
I was shocked he was running in a movie.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
No.
Okay. Jeff,
It
did you see it?
looks
No, I
like
did not see
looks
it.
like a, you know, they trying to do another Mummy movie, and it's Tom Cruise trying to cash in on Mummy movies.
Yes, but this is the one that's going to remember
Well, they could have
revitalize.
brought Brandon it back in. You know what the hell?
Again, Brandon Fraser has never been in a bad film
Yeah, there you go. See,
or a good film.
so Tom Cruise
he been
wants
in
to
a
be
film?
Brandon Fraser.
He's been in middling. Blast from the Past was good.
But I like Blast from the Past. I
Yes.
give Brendan Fraser credit for that.
That might be more Christopher Walken.
Encino Man was great.
No.
I couldn't keep
The
up with
Mummy,
that
though,
one.
was kind of interesting because it looked like Mission Impossible because they're on a plane that's disintegrating.
That is correct.
And we're
It's
just gonna throw a
Mission
mummy in it.
Impossible meets the Mummy meets Resurrection meets
Universal Studios said
meets
this is
what was the big Egypt movie that just bombed?
Gods of Egypt.
Meets Gods of Egypt.
Oh.
That's what it is.
I like it.
Mission
Dwayne
Impossible
Johnson
meets
threw it
Gods
in
of
eventually.
Egypt.
I feel like the Mummy. Well, the Universal did say this is going to connect all their monster movies.
Oh boy!
Just like Dracula Untold was supposed to. Well, no, we were kidding. That wasn't supposed to.
So Tom Cruise is going to bring back Lestat for the vampire movie.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Guardians of the Galaxy looks very funny. Volume 2. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it. I just saw that there's some crazy radical feminist lady that's bitching about the trailer
Why?
because the what was it? Brenda, what's her name? The female lead,
Oh,
Zoe Saldana?
yes.
Zoe Saldana's character, doesn't say anything in the trailer. She's just there to be.
Yes,
you
but
know,
she's kicking
one of
ass
the-
with a giant sword throughout some of it.
She doesn't have any
Did
dialogue.
we not see that part?
She doesn't have any dialogue, and that's what they're bitching about. Oh, I thought there's going to be more feminism in these movies, and they just make her an object to look at for the
Do
boys
they realize
to go
there's a
rescue.
fucking talking squirrel that had most of the lines in the preview?
It's a raccoon.
I'm just
That's a
telling you
raccoon.
what I
raccoon.
read.
Not a squirrel girl. I know, but I'm like, there's a fucking talking stick
You can
and
find-
a tree and a squirrel or a
Yes,
raccoon. that have
exactly.
it.
Why people in PETA upset because the the raccoon gets hit.
Well, I'm kind of upset that
Do we know what Groot's gender is?
he's a male.
He definitely
Are you
is.
sure?
Yeah, he had a spin-off comic book. I believe he is a male. So, or he could be amorphic.
Trees are pretty much all genders, aren't they?
But
So, yeah. you gotta
Baby
be
Groot,
careful.
I'm God Groot.
Hermaphroditic.
Maybe he spores with himself.
He did.
I feel like Baby Groot actually might be pretty funny, and I was a little worried.
Yeah.
But in the trailer, Rocket is building a nuclear bomb to blow up the ships.
Are
And
you going to ruin this stuff for me?
It's
I
just
try
the
to
trailer.
avoid trailers.
No, the trailer is funny because he's like, "Okay, Groot, I need you to, when I tell you to, press the button, but don't press it soon. That's a nuclear bomb. It's going to blow us all up. I am Groot," and he goes to press it. He's like, no, don't do it. And he does that for about 5 times. And then he's like, this is probably not a good idea to do this. And then he turns around, Baby Groot's running away with the nuclear bomb. So I thought, that was kind of funny. It was a nice little back and forth between
Now
those
the
two.
movie got ruined for me.
Yeah.
Now I know what's going to happen.
Now the environmentalists are going to be upset.
That might be the most excited I am for a film next year. Guardians of the Galaxy.
It made you spot some wood.
Maybe.
Sport some wood there on Groot.
Let's just say afterwards I kept
you
saying,
go.
I am Groot. Oh, shut it. 1 out, 2 ain't bad. Just ask Meatloaf. And that was our news of the week. Let's hear some...
Do you want to hear a quickie real quick?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, do you want to hear a quickie
Yeah.
real quick? George R. Martin?
He died?
No.
Oh.
He said,
He finished the
don't
page?
expect a book this winter.
Oh, I'm shocked. So winter isn't coming to him.
So Dr. Bednar is wrong. The book is not ready by Christmas this year, as he predicted.
Okay. I'm
Wow, that
shocked.
was a poor prediction. I was saying it'll be ready by a week before the new season comes out.
Yeah, and then he lamented the fact that Westeros was 7 kingdoms. He's like, I should have kept it at 5.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
Well, you haven't even wrote about all of them. I mean, I just was ignoring 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Did you see the 93-year-old guy from...
Oh,
died?
Master Aemon, yes.
Yeah.
Maester Aemon passed away too.
So this is why you don't have people that are older than 75 in your shows. You can't trust it.
That's
ageism.
Oh, he died? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, great. Spoiler, Jeff.
He died.
Thanks.
He died in the show anyway.
Did he die at the Red Wedding?
No.
No.
Red Wine? Damn it.
He died like 2 seasons ago.
That's a spoiler. I'm like 6 seasons behind.
Yeah, yeah.
7?
I think it's 6. It's 6 seasons they've done, right?
6 seasons in a movie?
Yeah.
Okay, just like the Cape. Hello, HOBI listeners. What are you doing next September 22nd through the 24th, 2017? Jason, that's a year away. Well, sure it is. But you know what? It's never too early to plan for the Cincinnati Comic Expo. Last year we had Stan Lee, we had John Barrowman, and even Teddy Sears. Zip. He was fast. That's September 22nd through the 24th at the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Check the Cincinnati Comic Expo Facebook page out for all the news, or you can listen to HOBI and we'll be updating it as they release the new guest. Again, Cincinnati Comic Expo, September 22nd through the 24th. Make your plans now.
Hello, HOBI listeners. You don't know us, but we know you. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian.
And we're the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast, better known as the bad guys, the villains of the story, if you will. A feud that we didn't even start. It was started by Jason, all because he called us out. And we retaliated and such, because, what did we say, Ian?
We got rings, baby.
That's right, we've got rings. And the feud escalated, and now here we are, the bad guys. So here we are petitioning today to be the 2016 Floppy Villains of the Year. And to hear just how villainous we are, check out our show. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Satchel, and any other number of podcasting apps that you may find out there. Jeez, I can't even talk. That's how villainous I am. So there you go. Go ahead. Give us a listen.
Go Steelers.
It's time for Box Office Bombs.
All right, Bad Santa 2 made only $3.3 million in its second week. Total of $14 million on a budget of $26 million. Now, it's a pretty small budget for a movie coming out of Hollywood.
I think internationally they're up to $18 million total.
Ooh.
It's going to be a tough sell.
I hope they're wanting to get the money through DVD sales or
maybe.
Or renting it or selling it to HBO to show to people.
All I'm saying is, if you come to the expo next year and you win at trivia, you might be winning a copy of Bad Santa 2. I'm sure it'll be in the dollar bins. We can do it that way.
All right, moving on. The top 5 this week. Number 1, Moana. Made another $28.5 million, a total of $120 million on a $150 million budget.
Ooh.
Don't know what that is doing in the international market.
Over 240, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, total.
I just didn't realize that had that much of a appeal to...
I'll double check, but I believe that is it.
Well, I'll go on to number 2, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Made another $18.5 million. Total of $183.5 million on a $200 million budget. I know that one's doing well overseas, especially in the island of Britain.
Moana is at $180 million worldwide.
Okay.
So not great, but not too bad either.
Blake's favorite movie, Arrival, made another $7.5 million, a total of $73 million on a budget of $47 million.
It actually moved up 2 spots this week.
Oh, jeez.
I think I saw
with aliens.
An ad or whatever where they were obviously trying to sell the movie or whatnot, but a review or something talking about it being like the smartest science fiction movie ever.
Oh my God.
And I just thought of Blake when I heard that.
No. You know what's that spoof, that YouTube spoof where they do the real life actual trailers?
Oh, yeah.
I would like to see what theirs is for Arrival.
You should go on and suggest it to.
They go, it's a love story with aliens. But the aliens really aren't the main part of the story.
Fantastic Beast.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're actually floating octopi.
But it's circles.
Exactly.
Domestically, $184 million it's now up to. It is plus domestic. Worldwide. Worldwide is at $424 million. It's at $608 million already.
What movie is that?
Fantastic Beasts. Yeah.
Now, is worldwide... Did you add the U.S. to that, or
domestic
worldwide already have it?
No. Foreign. It's foreign.
It's the foreign box.
It's $424 million.
And the foreign box.
Is that converted to U.S. American dollars?
Yes, it is actually. Thank you, BoxOfficeMojo.com for that.
Just checking.
It's actually 18 cents.
Making sure it wasn't any of that funny money.
It's pounds. Tire money.
Number 4 this week, Allied made another $7 million. Kind of petering out at $29 million on an $85 million budget.
That could be up there in the box office bombs. They said it's definitely not making its money back.
Yes. Now, let's think about this theory for a second. Mm-hmm. What does Bad Santa 2 and Allied both have in common?
Brad Pitt?
And?
Brad Pitt's in Bad Santa 2?
I have no idea.
No.
They're war movies?
Well, Brad Pitt is one. What's the other one?
Billy Bob Thornton?
Billy Bob Thornton's the other. What do those 2 guys have in common?
They're actors?
Angelina Jolie?
Yes.
They drank her blood?
They're both
former
husbands of Angelina Jolie.
It's made $55 million worldwide total with domestic. Allied. And they said that is going to lose money for them.
Yeah. So basically, the moral of the story is don't divorce Angelina Jolie.
That's right. Unless you're her brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably a good idea. Or, well, Johnny Lee Miller probably did better after divorcing her.
Johnny Lee Miller. He got her naked. In Hackers. Fisher
yay.
Stevens. That was on a couple weeks ago, and I watched like 20 minutes of it. It's so bad.
Such a bad movie.
It is so bad.
It is a bad movie.
I'm doing this.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
So-
the act like you're typing, and then like the graphics they do on what they think computers, the best visualization to make computers look like.
Look exciting back in the day. And it was best because you hear them typing, and then it's like, hold on. Okay, I did it. I sent it.
Exactly.
It's the loudest send ever. You just broke your computer.
Well, the send
keyboard
button makes the biggest noise.
I think there was better skateboarding in that movie than there was computer hacking.
Fisher Stevens was pretty awesome as a skateboarder
right.
in it. He was the cool guy.
And maybe the soundtrack was better.
The soundtrack was
a couple
decent.
good things about the movie.
Trying to
You know,
remember the
naked
soundtrack.
Angelina Jolie and skateboarding and soundtrack.
Who knew John Lee Miller would not be hit big after that? Poor Johnny.
Exactly. It
Poor
ruined
Johnny
his
Lee.
career.
Yeah.
But he's now doing all right, making money at least on a television show every week.
What's he in?
Elementary.
Oh, that's right.
Well, he was in Train Spotting. That's true, too.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that.
And there's Train Spotting 2. Did you guys see the trailer for
I
that?
saw it was coming out. I have not seen a trailer
Yeah,
yet.
let's not make a sequel of that, please.
Okay.
Just
I mean, how are you going to top swimming in a commode in a public restroom? The world's nastiest shitter, basically.
Can't do it.
No.
All right,
not going to do it.
Number 5 this list, Doctor Strange made another $6.5 million, a total of $215 million on a $165 million budget. Marvel made some money and more.
Good for Doctor Strange. Really enjoyed it.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for you, Doctor. Good for you.
Doctor.
Upcoming December 9th, 2016, Office Christmas Party. Looks like shit.
Okay. So we're all on board with that one.
And
No, actually, I'm looking forward to that one. I
Stop
think it
it.
looks funny.
Stop it.
No, I'm serious.
please tell me the funny stuff wasn't in the commercial I saw.
I hope there's more than that.
Because nothing in
thought
the
it looked
commercial
funny.
was funny.
You didn't think so?
No.
I thought so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
On a side note, I did watch
okay.
Bad Moms this past weekend.
And?
It was enjoyable. It wasn't bad.
I can't believe you're watching a movie about 4 women. God, that must suck.
You know what the best part is? They weren't chasing ghosts.
Did it make you tingly inside?
Oh, Mila Kunis.
Yeah. Talk about Kristen Bell, man.
Yeah, she's in it too. It was enjoyable. I liked it though.
Hey,
There's some good funny parts.
JB, if you're still listening to the podcast,
He
my
is.
standing offer to be Kristen Bell's fluffer is still on the table, okay? Just checking.
Just offer out there.
Just, yeah.
Doctor Strange, let's see here, has made $636 million worldwide combined.
Wow, more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
So by the end, it might make $250 million.
Sure.
That would be impressive. Also
How much is $250 million?
I meant $750 million.
You could already top that one.
We don't do math. We just make shit up.
Pretty much.
You know, I'm waiting for the day when your Twitter poll of the week doesn't add up to 100.
Well, Jason doesn't do the math. Twitter does the math.
Twitter
so
does
I think-
they do the rounding.
It adds up to 100 because things that are tied, they'll
Yeah.
give the extra percent to one of them.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually less accurate when doing it that way.
Okay.
What else is coming out?
Miss Sloane.
Jessica Chastain. The only downside is it's directed by John Madden. So there's going to be lots of telestrators on it.
I think it's probably a different John Madden.
No, it's the same one. Because in our world, there can only be one.
Is there going to be a turducken?
That's our whole goal, is to get into the
And then you see
turducken.
right
to the
here,
turducken.
Yeah, and then this guy just runs right up to the a-hole, and
It looks like
did
a-
John Madden just say the a-hole on
The A gap.
It looks like a
He
political
called it the
thriller.
a-hole once.
So I would be excited to, if people are watching this, like, you know, she's running through the streets and you see like this telestrator. No comment, just the slide pointing her where to go. Bam! People just
No. Boom. She walks, and then they show the scene again in slow motion.
That's right. So I'm not going to the movies this weekend.
All right, buy, sell. The career of Aaron Eckhart.
Sell. Are we making thank you for smoking too? Nope. Then I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been selling right after The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
If anybody was buying Aaron Eckhart then, they would have already bought all the stock.
Never been in a bad film. I'm sorry, good film besides Dark Knight. I'm sorry.
I would say,
My bad.
wasn't he in The Core?
Yes, he was in the core. So was Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
I'm a girl, you know.
What was that one? Was it Ron Howard directed one? The Western one with was it Kate Blanchett and
I'll find
Tommy
out for
Lee
you.
Jones?
I'll find out for you.
The only good part about that was Aaron Eckhart's body ended up being mutilated and by the natives who hated
that was
the
great.
white man.
He was in Incarnate this week.
Well, we're spending a lot of time on the guys whose stock we're selling.
Can we go next?
Anybody buying Aaron Eckhart?
No.
Please?
No.
Take off my hands?
Done.
Carice Van Houten.
I don't know who she is, so I'm selling.
Van Houten.
Van Houten? I like that name. I'll buy. Van
Anything
Houten.
with a van in your last name? Buy.
I'm buying.
She's also isn't she the woman in red, or the Red Witch, or whatever her name is in Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Sure.
Wow, I thought you would know the Game of Thrones reference there.
I haven't researched this.
Aaron Eckhart has...
I skipped over the buy-sell to the top
Was it The
5.
Missing? Was that the name of the movie?
Yes. He was in Battle Los Angeles, The Rum Diary, Olympus Has Fallen.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Erased, I, Frankenstein, My All-Americans, London Has Fallen, Sully, Bleed for This, and Incarnate.
I remember that. That was the I, Frankenstein, where he's like an action Frankenstein.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well.
Yeah. That was going to be the one that tied all the monster movies together.
Yeah, and that was going to be Tom Cruise.
He did The Core
That's
and
right.
The Missing at the same time.
Yeah.
They came out at the same time.
Yay.
So okay, so there you go. Are you
Paycheck.
buying?
He was also Paycheck, wasn't
Oh, yeah,
he?
it was. Are you buying it?
I probably would buy Carice Van Houten.
Okay. I feel like it's low.
Carice Van Houten.
I ate some lava beans. Flava beans. What is it?
Flava beans?
Flava
I
beans.
love the flava
I originally
bean.
said lava beans, but okay.
No.
Just putting my nose to the grindstone this week, people. Try and get it done. Try and get it done.
All right, so that's it for our news and box office recap.
And world reports.
It's now time for our top 5. All right, so our top 5 this week. Let's see what the copy says. Top 5 favorite TV comedies of the last 5 years.
These have to be on TV in the last 5 years. They don't have to start in the last 5 years.
So just a show that had at least one season within the last 5 years.
Shit.
What did you do?
This is what happens when you're drinking beer and you got your plates covering the list. I thought it was favorite 5 comedians of the last 5 years.
All right, so your list will be different than ours.
I'm keeping my list. Oh, shit. I just realized it says TV comedies. I thought it said favorite comedians of the last 5 years. I'm like, well, that's
that would actually be a better list.
I'm like, well, that's an interesting topic list. All right.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that. I wish I would have researched that list.
Oh, maybe you should fucking come up with a top 5 now and then. Fuck you all!
All right. Here we go. Next week, we do comedians and Blake does comedy.
There you go. There you go.
I'm game.
I'll work with that. Okay. So, Blake, you go first. That's your number 5.
All right, this comedian been pretty good for the past 5 years. I enjoyed Trainwrecked, and I've seen her stand up. It was pretty funny when she's not being political. Amy Schumer.
Oh,
all right.
She's not on my list this week. So,
well,
Amy
Schumer does have a show out.
Inside Amy Schumer.
Inside Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
So.
And I actually saw Trainwrecked when I was on the plane. The flight back and forth to Europe.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah, it was enjoyable, and it was really risky. And I'm like, I wonder if people know what this movie is, or they think I'm a pervert watching porn.
Yeah, on TV.
And there were a couple scenes in there. I thought I hope people don't think I'm watching porn on this thing.
Well, they show like John Cena's butt.
They do. They do.
Yeah, and actually, John Cena was actually funny.
Oh, he was great
in that movie.
They said he's getting
LeBron James was
as
good
well
in
as
the movie.
LeBron. That was pretty
LeBron was
too.
funny.
He was.
Bill Hader was good in the movie.
Forgot my wallet. Forgot my wallet.
Yeah.
Really, LeBron?
Really?
Let's see. I'll go next. My number 5. It's not Amy Schumer. Favorite TV comedies of the last 5 years is The League.
It's on my list. It will be next week.
It will be.
Really like The League. There are some episodes that were not as good.
Yeah.
There's some that dragged, but I really enjoyed it. It was one that I looked forward to.
I looked at The League. I think why I didn't put it on was I thought the best episodes were the first couple seasons that were farther.
There were some good...
Like the last season, I felt was really weak.
Well,
last season
how many
was rough.
seasons can you make about fantasy football, though?
Yeah.
They made more than I thought they would, but
Obviously.
the last season had nothing to do with fantasy football.
They did not
They
have any
got
fantasy-
so far away from like the 2 seasons before that. They at least tried to
Incorporate
incorporate it.
It didn't work.
But I mean, outside of I think they do the draft in the first episode, the rest of it had nothing to do with fantasy football at all.
I love Taco.
Taco is good.
What's your number 5, Jeff?
My number 5, I've got the Celebrity Name Game. It's a game show.
Uh-huh.
But the host is Craig Ferguson, and he's one of the funniest people on television.
Just got canceled.
Well, that sucks balls.
Yeah.
I watch it every day. I get home from work, watch Celebrity Name Game.
Apparently, you're the only one because I've never heard of it.
I've seen it
But
a
I know
couple
Craig
times.
Ferguson is.
That's the thing is, it's on those other stations that you get,
On the
like
Craig Ferguson.
like you turn on the main station and then you have to go to point 2 after it or something.
Vice channel?
I see.
No, like
Oh, Playboy.
yeah, something like that. No.
The TV game show channel.
It's not. No, it's not even on that.
I mean, it's not that. Is that actually a comedy? It's a game show.
It's a game show with a comedian as the host, so it makes me laugh.
Time out.
So you can put the Price is Right on there.
If you think Drew Carey is funny enough,
As a
yes.
comedian hosting a game show.
Time out.
If you think he's funny on The Price
What
is
about
Right,
what about the guy that's Family Feud?
Ray Combs?
Right now,
He's dead.
if you think Steve Harvey is funny enough for your
Steve
list, then
Harvey?
yes, you can put
Al
that
Borland?
on there.
Al Borland from Home Improvement? He was pretty. Richard Carnes? He was funny.
Yeah. Louis Anderson,
Oh, God, no. He creeps
Jay
me out.
Peterman.
Jay Peterman was funny. No one ever said, though, a smoochy face. Richard Dawson.
Oh, well, yeah.
Time out.
nobody
so you,
can really replace him.
So you, thank God, and be fined and sued now. So
Yeah.
you did game shows.
I didn't do game shows.
Blake did comedians. I'm the only one that pays attention to this damn thing.
I put what I think is the 5th funniest show on the air.
Okay, go ahead. What's your number 4?
Hey, what's your next game show?
Price is Right.
My number
Card
4,
Sharks.
My number 4 is
Whose
the
line is it
Goldbergs.
anyways?
Oh, I should have thought of that one.
Yeah.
That was a funny
That was
one.
a
I do
funny
like
one.
that one.
Yeah.
It's back on.
Did you see the one that had the Richard Simmons one where they were replaying the Richard
Surfboard?
Simmons?
Yes.
Oh my God, that
Yeah.
was hilarious when he was on there.
Well, I wish I would have thought of whose line, but I didn't.
Oh,
honorable
it's
mention now.
honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Yeah, whose line is it anyways?
But my number 4 was the Goldbergs.
Ugh.
All right.
You never even saw it. What
I've
do you
seen
mean
a
you saw
couple
the
of
first
the
3
it?
episodes.
You didn't. You lie.
No, I did, and they kept yelling at each other, so I was done.
Okay. They kept yelling. Yeah, the way families actually interact.
We sit down and have a nice little talk. Anyways. Yeah, okay, so Goldbergs. You still like it?
Yes.
Okay. Good for you.
Awesome.
My number...
What's your number 4?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's all I got. Blake, what you got?
My number 4, comedian of the past 5 years. I really like Kate McKinnon.
Oh, okay.
I think she's done a great job with the couple movies she's been in, the SNL thing. Her Hillary Clinton's like dead on, man. Fucking funny as
I'm
shit.
glad... for
Funny
a
as
second there,
hell.
I really thought you said Hitler Clinton.
Same. Well, what's the difference?
Down the hall. One rose to power, one doesn't have...
One succeeded. That was the oh, people are going to skin us alive. after this
One was elected, one's going to steal an election.
Soapbox down the hall on the Canadian podcast network. What's your number 3?
So Kate McKinnon was my number 4. My number 3 is kind of technically a tie.
Tomatoes
but
and
they go
onions?
together. But you know what? It is a TV show.
Key and Peele.
That's correct. I like Key and Peele.
That got canceled too. Well, they stopped making it. They didn't cancel.
Stopped a year ago,
Yeah.
I thought. But
Well, they
like
had
you,
some
you got Key and Peele. You got
Yeah.
a lady who's been on Saturday Night Live for the last 5 years, and you got Inside Amy Schumer. So these are all TV shows that your comedians are in.
Technically not eliminated.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm technically there still.
Bullshit. My number 3 might be Jeff's number 1. Parks and Rec.
It's my number 2.
Okay.
When did that stop?
2015.
last year.
Was it 2014?
Last year was
wasn't
the
it?
last.
2015. The spring
15,
of 2015.
yeah, it was 15.
Okay.
So
It
it's
was
been off the air for a
15,
year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I love that show. I thought everybody had a great character in it. I love
character
Jerry.
was great.
Love Jerry. Poor Jerry.
Oh.
And, yeah, it was a funny show. I don't know. There's not much more to say about it. It's just top to bottom. Rob Lowe was awesome in it.
Literally
The
best character on television.
I ran 18 miles. Literally ran 18 miles. Yeah, so Parks and Rec. Jeff, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Cougar Town.
That's an honorable mention for me. I thought the last 2 seasons were a little rough.
They were, but the Courtney Cox wine drinking show I really liked. Mm-hmm. What's his name? Ian Gomez. He's an incredibly funny guy. I liked him.
Hey!
It had Kate from
Kate from Drew Carey.
Drew Carey show
was also
Had Grayson.
and it had Grayson. The Dime Eyes. Yeah. But it was a nice ensemble cast, like the use in Parks and Rec or
Busy
whatnot.
Phillips.
Phillips.
Yeah.
From
Dawson's Creek.
she's from Dawson's Creek.
Yep.
I remember from
I don't want to wait
Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
for our lives to be over. I want to know right now. That's for Kev. Anyways, move on. Wait for the Dawson's Creek podcast.
Yeah, that was my 3.
coming.
My number 2 is Parks and Rec.
Okay. My number
There you
2
go.
was Modern Family.
Honorable mention for me.
I really enjoy that
I like
show.
Modern Family. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's one of the few shows every week I get excited about.
I enjoy it. I watch it every week, DVR it, but it's just too standard of a show.
I could see that. I can understand that.
Which is great that, you can have a show where, 2 of your main characters are, a gay couple, and it's just a too standard of a show.
Yes.
So
I feel like, though, it's a solid show every week. They do have some easy laughs on it, but they do a good job with everything. Every week, it's at least going to be funny.
yeah, there are some hits or misses.
Correct.
But I think there's more hits.
Yeah.
And every week.
Well, it's
there are
because
at
the
least some
co-creators
hits.
had a falling out, so one does half the episodes and the other one does the other half.
Really?
Yes. They don't even communicate anymore.
So-
Christopher Lloyd, not the actor, but the
Yeah,
actual,
the director,
he's
Christopher
one,
Lloyd.
and then the other guy, they split
So
up
like
the episodes.
co-show run? Mm-hmm. So if one is doing a drastic storyline that might change the direction, does he...
I guess there's a go-between between them, but yeah, they separate. Blake, what's your number 2 comedian?
My number 2. He's from Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
He's on Parks and Rec.
Aziz?
And he's done, actually, it is Aziz.
And he's got his own show on Netflix.
Yes.
He's got his own show. I haven't seen
Master
his own,
of Nothing.
I haven't seen his own show, Master of Nothing, but I have heard his stand-up, and he is really
I saw him in stand-up. He's pretty good.
fucking funny.
He is funny.
He is awesome.
I've downloaded a couple of his albums, and we saw him when he came to Cincinnati, my wife and I, and he is pretty funny. What's your number 1?
Did you hear his bit about Grindr? Hanging out with his gay friends. It was pretty funny. It's funnier now.
I have not heard that one.
Yeah, it's actually great.
One of our friends is gay, and I did go through the Grindr account, like I said before. Lots of floppies. A little too many floppies. So, wait. Oh, my God. Is that a bearskin rug? Nope, that's a man. Okay, moving. Woo! That's enough of that. Woo!
Technology these days is so easy to get laid. It's unbelievable.
It is.
Back in our day, it was so difficult.
He was leaving a party we're at midnight, and he's like, I need to see if I can get hooked up. Oh, there's somebody. I'll be back. See you guys. Have a good night. What how the hell does this work? I don't know how this works, but I'm impressed. And then he was killed. No, I'm just kidding.
They never found his body. Oh my goodness.
He's going to be on the next serial as the
Serial,
Grindr murderer.
The Grindr. Grindr, Tinder. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Who knew that a giant bear would be that evil? What's your number 1, Blake?
My number 1, who does had his own TV show for a while as well. Yeah, but his great stand-up. I love that. He's had stand-up in the past couple years as well. Because I had to limit this to the last 5 years, right?
Well, yes, but
Comedians. But this was Louis C.K.
Oh, man.
Number 1.
okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, you really could have picked all of their shows. And
I know.
Boom, your
Now
list
that I
is
think
done.
about it, I could have.
And Louis C.K. Well,
Technically,
probably, he was on a season of Parks and Rec.
Yeah, and he had his own show.
Oh,
Louis.
yeah, the Louis, which is a critical favorite. I've never seen.
What is it? FX? They said we'll give you $200,000 more per episode, but we have to have input in it. And he said no.
Yeah,
I'm
fuck
doing my
you.
own.
I'm doing my
Was he
show. You
on
paid me. I'm doing it.
HBO?
Yeah, exactly.
What
I
do you
can't
mean?
remember
Is
what
the
it was.
Louis
I
show
can't remember if it
on
was on.
HBO?
FX.
If it was it FX?
Yeah.
Oh,
Louis-
it is on
yeah.
FX.
Yeah,
Oh,
Louis was on
okay.
FX.
Okay.
Oh,
It was
they
a-
were willing to pay him more if they could tell him what to do.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
He was on a sitcom, the first sitcom that HBO,
Oh yeah, I did
and that
see
failed. After one.
Yeah, you know why that failed? Because in the pilot of that sitcom, he shows his floppy.
Okay, moving on.
I
my
remember
God.
watching that, and I went, "What?"
At least wear a prosthetic. Make yourself look huge with a merkin.
They call him tripod.
Yeah, wear a merkin with a huge prosthetic.
Oh, we're going back to Merkins.
The throwback. My number one is easy. Everybody knows that I love this show, and I miss this show terribly. The Office. Really love The Office.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that show. It was
And it
good.
ended, and I know there was some.
Yeah.
The Will Ferrell episodes were rough.
Yeah.
Even like when Andy was becoming a dick was kind of annoying. I didn't understand that.
I'm gonna say that's. I think the last 3 episodes of The Office, which falls into our 5-year window, or the worst.
Technically,
yeah. Of the time period we have, that's why The Office couldn't make my list. 'cause
As long
they were
as
the
long
weaker
it
episodes.
ended in the past 5 years, it was still eligible technically.
pretty much technically.
I'll see when that ended. I thought it was.
I'm
2014.
surprised you didn't have It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia on your list.
I didn't put It's Always Sunny because the last 5 years I really haven't been watching it religiously.
Yeah.
I watched it all the time in the
the
first couple
problem
of
is
years.
they only have
but-
10 episodes.
yeah, and you never know when they're on, and
Yeah, it's
I don't
tough.
have it on DVR, so I only watch it when I get around to watching it on Netflix when they release it on Netflix.
Comedy Channel replay.
Yeah.
It was the same reason I'm with you. I haven't watched it religiously.
See,
2013 is when Office ended.
it's always
So
okay.
so
That's
2
within
years.
5 years.
Yeah, but the last 2 seasons, or the 2 seasons that I thought,
rough.
pretty much the
It
ones
could be
without Michael.
Yeah.
I intentionally stopped watching
I thought
Oh, I still liked it. It was still good.
Yeah.
It
because of
the finale
Michael.
was the one of the best finales I've seen.
No Michael Scott. I was like, yeah. But I should go back and watch the finale. I'd like to do that.
The finale was good.
Michael shows up in the finale.
Yeah,
so
I
you'll
know.
enjoy
That's
it.
why I said
That's
I'd
what
go
she
back
said.
and watch that.
All right. Well, my number one will come as no surprise to anyone that
Jesus.
listens. You knew it was coming.
I forgot until you. Yeah.
How did you forget?
I don't know.
I mean, wow. Okay, yeah. Community. It's
Yeah.
It was the funniest show.
Arrested Development's not on there?
It only
They
had
that
one season in the last
yeah.
5 years,
Oh, okay.
and it was good. Honorable mention, but not. But no.
It wasn't really super good. Actually, that AD was a little disappointing.
Oh, you didn't.
It was funny. I liked
liked
it.
how they tied it in, and things that happened in the one episode, you just saw 10 episodes later from the other perspective.
Yeah,
and
Well,
I
it's
liked how they did that. It was
they were short on
masterfully done.
Yeah, because they were short on time.
Oh yeah,
They can go on locations. They had to shoot everything all at once.
but it was masterfully done how they
Sure.
edited it together. It just
Sure.
it was masterfully edited. I'm giving the
It's a
editing
lot of editing.
props.
Yeah, a lot of good editing. Lots of good editing.
I mean, there might be other problems you have with it, but the editing was great.
You're right. The editing was great.
But anyway, my number one, Community, the funniest show from the past 5 years, might be my favorite television comedy of all time.
If they had more episodes, The Great Indoors would have been on mine.
Oh, did they cancel that one yet?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I think they actually gave it the back pickup.
Oh.
Yeah. We stopped it. We
Yeah,
stopped the
I
DVR.
only saw the first 2. I
We did 3 or 4,
don't know
I
if I
think.
can even go.
Yeah, we gave up. We did have one listener feedback because I sent this out late. Chris Richardson at 365 Flicks, I think.
I think so.
I think so. Those corporate sellouts.
Cheeky monkey.
They are. He had number 5, The Thick of It.
I think it's a British show.
It's about Alan Thicke.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sure.
4 episodes.
Episodes was good. I considered putting that on my list.
3 Veep.
Veep, I've only seen a couple episodes. I enjoy it and it's good. I just haven't watched it.
I think his
enough.
number 2 is just to rhyme with Veep.
Ditto.
He had Peep Show. Veep and Peep. That doesn't rhyme.
Sure.
Anyways,
Okay.
Peep Show, and number 1, I think you fucking Big Bang Theory.
Which is still a good show.
Oh, I thought I was gonna
Actually,
say
the
King
show's
of Queens.
better now.
I thought I was going to say King of Queens.
I thought he was going to say
said
Kevin Can Wait.
They do not
Kevin
have
Can
Kevin
Wait.
Can Wait in Britain right now.
It's been banned.
Yes. So,
He can't find that illegally online somewhere?
I don't think anybody wants to watch it legally online either, to be honest with you.
The BBC's banned him.
We got Sherlock, and then after Sherlock, we have Kevin Can Wait. It's a sophisticated comedy drama about a police officer that's retired that's just trying to keep his family together. That's tonight at 9:30 on Kevin Can Wait. After that, we have Doctor Who. Who is the Doctor?
You could get a job at BBC One.
You know, that was actually your best British impression ever.
Oh, I actually thought it was one of my worst.
Actually, he's going for a Southern female Cajun LaCroix. It just happened to come up with the best British accent ever for him.
Bad idea of the week. I lost it.
See,
Anyways.
You can't capture that moment again.
Bad idea of the week.
Good thing it was recording.
Being in the military, making bad decision skills when you're deserting.
Skills.
Yes. That is bad idea. Blake, you get to pick. What number is that?
Ooh, that's in the top 25.
We're going 24.
Sounds good to me.
There you go.
24.
We'll be back next week, and Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
From Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets, there's a history of not so bad. There's the history. It's the history of bad, so bad. The history of bad, it's bad. History